I don't think he was comfortable in the positions that he was.
Adding to that sense of lost opportunity was the condition of Dallas's lone star. Dirk Nowitzki was suffering through a sinus infection and who knows what else that night. It was evident throughout, as he had his worst game of the series, shooting just and had 2 turnovers.
Now Wade gets it back up top to James. James fakes, drives, pull-up jumper. Won't go. Miller the offensive rebound.
As if it wasn't bad enough to try to explain why the league's best player was apparently shrinking under the brightest of lights, James and Wade fanned the flames with an attempt at humor that fell horribly flat. In between games 4 and 5, cameras were surrounding the pair as they appeared to mock Nowitzki's acknowledgement of his illness.
Oh, did y'all hear me cough? I think I'm sick.
iHeartRadio is now #1 for podcasting. Tune in each week as we feature different podcasts from the iHeartRadio app. Discover your next favorite podcast from over 250,000 available right now by downloading the free iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio.
Misses this one through yellow card accumulation, and finally Aljaz Ivacic misses out through international duty with Slovenia. Keith, it's time for your time to shine in the beautiful Portland sun. Let's get your keys to the game for a successful night for the Portland Timbers.
And a successful night is this, victory. A draw is not going to do it. You need 3 points. It doesn't have to be a pretty victory. It can be one where they put the opponent to bed early. It can be something late, but you have to win this match. It's just time is running short. I know that we're only halfway through the season, but when you're 3 spots underneath the playoff line, you got to start getting the dubs, as the young people say. So for me, 3 things as always. The first one, finish the job. And by finish the job, I mean finishing. The Portland Timbers were very good up in Seattle last weekend, but one of the reasons that people weren't all that inspired by the match, and myself included, is because there just weren't quality chances. Completely stifled Seattle, but Portland's got to do the job on on their end. So when they get into the final third, let's create quality chances. Let's get Moreno, Esprilla, and Bully all around the ball. Let's get Evander picking things out, and we need one or two players to be very clinical tonight. Second thing, finding Ferreira. Okay, Jesus Ferreira is the man that matters most for FC Dallas, and his movement, as I mentioned earlier in the pregame show, is tremendous. You cannot switch off. There has to be a lot of communication. Occasionally he will drop into the midfield. He'll sometimes pull wide of the center backs, and you have to find Ferreira. If you let him go for one moment, he will punish you. Last thing for me, don't call it a comeback. The FC Dallas players are very good at responding after going a goal down. It will take more than a goal to win this match tonight for the Portland Timbers. Really interesting stat that popped out to me. They are one of the best teams at coming back from going a goal down in the league. In fact, it's happened 9 times, Adam. They've conceded the first goal of a match. They have drawn one of those matches, and they've come back to win 3 of those 9 matches. So you got to stick the knife in. You cannot allow a comeback by FC Dallas. Get the second, get the third. Make sure that they go home to Texas losers.
And that's something that Portland struggled with this year. I think about the St. Louis game at home earlier in the season. I think about the Austin game where they scored at the death. A 2-2 draw on that one. Even a few weeks ago, Sporting Kansas City, we called that match together. 1 goal. They scored the first by Frank Bully. Had a great first 20 minutes. 4 goals unanswered after that for Sporting KC.
And then you got Ricardo Pepi's goal here at Providence Park in that postseason match. I mean, yeah, so you can't let FC Dallas hang around. We've always had close matches against this team in this ground, and I think you need to put them out of sight.
Standalone game in Major League Soccer today. Sunday, just past 7 o'clock. Kickoff coming to you soon at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson and Keith Blyer will have the call right here on 750 The Game. Final segment of the pregame show. Coming up next, we talk to the gaffer himself, Giovanni Savarese, in preparation for this highly anticipated match. Stay right here on your home for Timbers Soccer, 750 The Game.
I'm sorry, sir. This is a gas station. You can't bring a chainsaw in here.
I thought 76 was sponsoring the Portland Timbers.
We are.
But I'm the chainsaw guy.
Sir, again, I'm sorry, but...
I cut a log every time we score a goal. You know, Timber Joey?
Sir, please.
But my chainsaw is running out of gas.
Sir.
Can I at least have a soda?
Sir.
76 has been a proud sponsor of the Portland Timbers since 2013, but please, no chainsaws in our convenience stores. 76, we're on the driver's side.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make all sorts of unforgettable memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it! I got it! I got it! Or cruising in a Camry to enjoy some ice cream by the beach. Before getting attacked by a flock of hungry seagulls.
It's yours! Dang it! Toyota. Let's go places. Event ends May 31st. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary.
What's up, soccer fans? Body Armor is proud to be the official sports drink of your Portland Timbers. Whether you're active on the field or cheering on your club, Body Armor Sports Drink is your go-to hydration partner all season long. Body Armor is more than just a sports drink, hydrating you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. From kickoff to the final whistle, Body Armor has the hydration you need. Because it's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Sports Drink, available at your local Safeway.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code SPORTS at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SPORTS. Enjoy.
At PNC Bank, we're committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers and communities we serve by helping them move forward financially. As a Main Street bank, we're always working to make it easier for people to achieve their goals and plan for the future. whether that's through our innovative digital solutions or in person. We're proud to be part of your community. PNC Bank. See how we can make a difference for you at pnc.com/tech. Copyright 2022, the PNC Financial Services Group, Inc., all rights reserved.
Even though it's been a rough go of it so far, halfway through the 2023 Major League Soccer campaign, Giovanni Savarese has stayed positive, and his players have followed suit. He continues to be one of the best man managers in all of the league, and being at training a few times this week, you can tell morale is still high. Giovanni Savarese being a little bit more vocal out on the training pitch than usual. High expectations for his side against a strong FC Dallas team that currently sits in fourth in the Western Conference. I talked about in the first segment of the pregame show, this feels like an inflection point at home. Back here, after 3 weeks away, the Timbers' desperate need of 3 points. You have to get the win at home to make the draws on the road seem a little bit more palatable. Giovanni Savarese, in his sixth season with the club, is the winningest coach during the Timbers' MLS history. He's 3-2-2 at home, 72, 59, 44 overall in Major League Soccer play, trying to grab that 73rd win, something that's eluded him in the last 4 games for the Timbers. Hopefully, their luck and frankly, just skill level is better than the last home game against Minnesota, where, yes, they put 18 shots on target. Frankly, not enough to trouble the Minnesota keeper in that one. Here's my conversation with the Venezuelan head coach after training on Thursday in preparation for this match with Dallas. Sitting down with Timbers head coach Giovanni Savarese. Gio, you're facing Dallas for the second time this season. Sunday night standalone game on national television. It's a tough opponent facing the leading goal scorer in Major League Soccer, Jesus Ferrer. What kind of challenge does he present to your back line that may be a little shaken with Claudio Bravo out through yellow card accumulation?
Yeah, I think first of all, if we're talking about the team that we're facing is it's a Dallas team that is a good team. They have a good an identity. It's very clear what they play for and the way they play, and it makes it a difficult team. They're good on the ball. They manage the ball well. They're good in transition, and they have an attacking group because I think it's only Ferreira. I think they have all the players as well that are very dangerous in transition. So we need to be very good and manage those things and actually throw things to them that way they're concerned in defending. And if we manage the transitions, it's a game that it's going to be more in our favor. But we have to get a result. We are in a situation right now that we need points, and at home against this team, we have to make sure that we get 3 points.
What was the feeling amongst the group after the 0-0 with Seattle? You kind of alluded to it in your post-game press conference where a draw on the road against a top team is always going to be good. But considering the place in the table, maybe more points would be appropriate. But what was kind of the group think post?
That was the feeling around the group, exactly what you mentioned. If I have to add something more, is the fact that we thought that we did a lot of good things that made us feel that we're progressing, things that we feel comfortable in continuing in managing things in that path. For example, the way we press, the way we manage, especially the first half, in getting players in good areas to press, making sure that we were more dangerous in getting guys high up on the field. And then with the ball, we were very good. Maybe not as much in the final third, but in the run of play, we found the right spaces. Everything that we asked the players to do, they did, and that's why I felt that was a very good game. But as you mentioned, and as I said right after the game, we need 3 points. We need 3 points, and even though that point is very good, and it looked good as a team that goes away to play against Seattle, we still are looking for 3 points in every game that we play.
Eric Miller looked really good in that game. Played it right back in that one. May need to play elsewhere against Dallas in this one. Are his contributions kind of what you expected so far this season? And as, from my perspective, he's become a leader on the field. I hear him talking all the time at training. Is that a nice surprise as well?
Definitely. We thought, and I thought, that he will be a good addition. But I will say that he's gone beyond my expectations in the sense that I think he's been able to give more than I expected. I had high hopes, and he has delivered that. And as you mentioned, I think also the part of leadership and communication has been very good from his part. The versatility to be able to play right back sometimes, if we need him in the middle as a center back. Left back is been phenomenal for us to be able to have a player with experience filling the spaces of some of the players that, are not present in some moments. So overall, I think he's been a tremendous addition, and I'm very pleased that he's with us.
One decision you've had to make week by week is Jaroslav Nierskoda starting or Frank Boli. What's kind of the different dynamic each of them give to your side?
Yeah, I think it depends the game and what we're looking from the game and the way we feel during the week. I think there's good competition there. I think that leaves both of them in tippy-toes situation to make sure that they're always ready to be able to step and try to, show what they can do in order to stay on the field. So the performance of both last game I thought were good. Nierskoda I thought would play well. I thought that that even we have another guy that is behind the two, Boli and Nierskoda, that is pushing like that is Nathan. And I think in that position, those three are pushing each other to try to make sure that they can stay competitive, and at times they're also going to find themselves together on the field.
What's the biggest improvement or change you've seen in Christian Paredes' game this year?
Oh, he's been phenomenal. I think he's not this year. I think he's already a few years that he's performing this way. And his delivery is even greater. But this Paredes is very similar to the Paredes that I've seen the past 2 years because he's grown so much. He's a quality player, and I think not only is what he gives us in the midfield, is one of the players also that provide us so many opportunities attacking-wise that when he's on the field, he's a very important component of the team.
Gio, good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Giovanni Savarese here for sitting down with me. We're moments away from game time. And while 9 points separate Dallas and Portland, almost anything feels doable with the roaring Providence Park behind you. Will Portland propel back into the playoff picture? Or will Jesus Ferreira and Dallas flex their might? Find out next right here on your home for Timber Soccer, 750 The Game.
All Portland. We are Buick GMC of Beaverton. We are Oregon and Washington's largest Buick GMC dealer. We are the 3-time Dealer of the Year award winner. We are proud to support our team and serve our city. Because we are All Timbers. Get to Buick GMC of Beaverton today and score!
Award by General Motors Corporation.
You don't rush greatness. That's why Carl's Jr. takes the time to hand-bread their chicken. Because hand-breading gives chicken that perfect balance of juicy and crunchy. Juicy and hand-breaded crunchy is what makes a Carl's Jr. chicken sandwich, new spicy hand-breaded jalapeno chicken sandwich, and hand-breaded chicken tenders so irresistible. There's no other chicken like it, and Carl's Jr. is the place to get it. Carl's Jr. Feed your happy.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage in their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, y'all, it's the Rev here for Reverend's Barbecue in the heart of Sellwood, and I've got a secret for you. Are you looking for the best barbecue on either side of the Willamette? Then come on down and start your meal off with some deviled eggs topped with burnt brisket ends. Grab one of our daily specials or feast on some St. Louis cut pork ribs. Of course, no meal is complete if you don't wash it all down with a blackberry slushie or one of our local brews on tap. And remember, everyone's welcome at our table.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code SPORTS at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SPORTS. Enjoy!
This is Portland's most listened to sports station, 750 The Game, KXTG Portland, your play-by-play home of the Portland Timbers.
It's swinging, ball headed in! Minutes after coming into the match, the Timbers break through to go up 1-0.
I want to be a club that plays with passion on the field to make the fans proud.
Plays Felipe Mora in, shoots, and scores! And the Portland Timbers have taken a lead in the 83rd minute.
Always, in every moment, give everything 100%.
Marcinkowski spills it, Asprilla, overhead kick, and scores! An incredible goal!
Timbers Radio is brought to you by Providence Sports Medicine. We make you better by any measure.
Once again, they get it done when it matters most.
Now, with Keith Blyer, here's Fletcher Johnson.
We have reached the midway point of the Major League Soccer season in 2023, with the Timbers hoping to build momentum in their final 6 MLS matches before the Midsummer Leagues Cup. Tonight, a team deep in the heart of Texas makes their lone trip to Providence Park, carrying a top 3 record in the West into the matchup. It's match day 17 as the Timbers welcome FC Dallas to Soccer City, USA. Good evening and welcome to Providence Park. Alongside my analyst, Keith Blyer, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Keith, in most other seasons, a scoreless draw with Seattle on the road in which Seattle did not threaten the Timbers net at all would be viewed as an incredibly positive result. But would where the Timbers sit in the table, 12th in the West here this evening, needing points badly, it did not hit quite as well. Gio Savarese was aware of it. Yes, strong defensively, but this team is starting to struggle to score goals. They're going to need to find a way through Dallas tonight and moving forward if they want to climb the table in the Western Conference.
The only victory tonight is a victory. We've said that 2 or 3 times already this evening. Fletcher, good to be with you again. A beautiful night in the Rose City of Portland, Oregon. Halfway through the season already? Or you
right?
Can't slow down. You move too fast. The Sounders-Timbers match is not one that you would hang on the wall of a museum. That one last weekend was not inspirational. It was not a spectacle, but it was a good point. I agree with you. And to stifle a Seattle team that really wanted to make a point and try to beat Portland for the first time in forever is a good sign. The fact that they didn't get anything done at the sharp end of the field, the attacking part of it, is what is concerning, as you mentioned, Fletch. But you come home, you take on a Dallas team that you've done very well against at Providence Park over the years, and maybe this will be the night that things start to click for the team in an attacking sense. But there is now urgency. Urgency sets in, and Giovanni Savarese and his Timbers team knows exactly that. It is about 3 points at this point. The good news is, if you do get the 3 points tonight, you can catapult from 12th all the way up to 9th. And last I checked, 9th place, good enough for the playoffs. All you want to do is be in. But we also know that at this point in the season in previous years, the Timbers have caught fire. So maybe it's more than just a dub tonight. Maybe you can start to really get that engine humming.
Yeah, from 2011 to 2022, through 17 matches, the Timbers in those seasons averaged 23.7 points. So obviously behind that, will be behind that no matter what, even with a win tonight, would move them on 20 points. Different story for FC Dallas. 26 points, tied for 3rd in the West coming into the weekend. Had a weird resumption of a match that was abandoned earlier this year against St. Louis. Played 40 minutes on a Wednesday night. Ended up walking away 2-0 winners in that one. They've scored 15 of their 17 matches so far this year. They have not fared well, though, in Portland, as they have won only one of 12 regular season away matches here in this building. They obviously won a big one in the playoffs a few years ago, but it's a Dallas side that has attacking talent. They, at times, have shored things up in the back, but they're still able to give up goals in situations where maybe they shouldn't, that have cost them some results, 5 losses to be exact so far this year.
Yeah, they're an unpredictable side, Fletch, especially with the injuries that they currently have. Areola, Leggett, Pomacall, all unavailable due to various physical issues. They always play the Timbers tight here. They haven't put it all together just yet, but I will tell you, I mean, they're quietly getting it done. Nobody's really talking about FC Dallas, and yet they sit in 4th place. And that's because of the man that they have at the top of their attack. Jesus Ferreira is one of the leading goal scorers in Major League Soccer. Got to double digits with a goal in that resumed match on the weekend. This can be a dangerous side. They don't have a match for the next 10 days. They're going to throw everything they can at the Timbers and try to upset Portland here for the first time in a few years.
The glass half full perspective for each side. First for the Timbers. The visiting side has won just twice in 27 all-time regular season meetings. That obviously a good sign for the Timbers. If you're a Dallas supporter, Dallas have not recorded the same result in consecutive away matches since April of 2022. They've gone 22 matches and have not recorded back-to-back wins, back-to-back losses, back-to-back draws. What they do in their last away match, they lost to Sporting Kansas City. We'll get you the starting lineups and opening kickoff from Providence Park coming up after this.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100.
Continental. Available at Discount Tire. Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At LA Fitness, there's no end to what you can try with your 3-day free pass. Sign up today at startlafitness.com. From cycling to swimming, running to rowing, battle ropes to box jumps. And the perks don't stop there. When you join LA Fitness, it opens the door to premium amenities like Olympic lifting platforms, basketball courts, pools, and more. Stop into one of our hundreds of locations. Grab your free 3-day pass at startlafitness.com. That's startlafitness.com. Amenities vary by location. Certain amenities may be available for an additional fee. Free 3-day pass is redeemable by non-members only. Other restrictions apply.
BECU. You've heard the name, seen the letters. But what does BECU stand for? Simply put, not-for-profit BECU stands for people. For charting your own path. For choosing what's right for members instead of what's profitable for someone else. Because they are the reason our credit union exists. So we do everything in our power to help them reach their financial goals. BECU. Power in people. All Pacific Northwest residents are eligible to join. Federally insured by NCUA.
Back live at Providence Park, national anthem in the books, and given it is the month of June, Timbers Army with a Pride Tifo, and it says it matters not what we are born, but what we grow to be. So nice from the Timbers Army there in support, as it is Pride Month here in the United States of America, and the Timbers wearing their Love Unites warm-up kits with the rainbow colors on it as well. Timbers in all green kits tonight. David Bingham wearing the all yellow kit and is the goalkeeper. Dallas, meanwhile, in their all whites. And Martin Paz, the goalkeeper for Dallas, in an all blue kit. Let's go ahead and get you the starting 11s for each team. First for the Portland Timbers under 6th-year manager Gio Savarese. 3 changes to the 4-2-3-1 that drew Seattle 0-0 last weekend. David Bingham gets a start in goal as Alija Ivacic is away on national team duty with Slovenia. Left to right in front of him, Eric Miller gets a start at left back in place of Claudio Bravo, who's suspended due to yellow card accumulation. Zach McGraw celebrated his 26th birthday earlier this week. He is making his 16th start of the season alongside Dario Zupric and Juan Mosquera back into the starting 11 for Portland. Two holding midfielders, Diego Chara, Cristian Paredes. Chara, his 350th start with one club, first ever in MLS history to do that, and also the 9th player to achieve 350 starts in Major League Soccer. It's also his 400th appearance in a Timbers shirt across all competitions. The attacking three in the midfield, Dyron Espria out left, Evander in the middle, and Santiago Moreno out on the right. Evander celebrated a birthday this week as well, turning 25. And then Frank Bully gets to start up top for the Timbers. Meanwhile, for FC Dallas, two changes from the midweek 11 they put out for that 40 minutes that they played against St. Louis. Martin Paz gets a start in goal. Left to right in front of him, the former Portland Timber and Gresham Morgan native Marco Farfan, Nkosi Tafara, Sebastian Ibiaga, and Giovanni Jesus gets the start out at right back. Edwin Cerrillo and Facundo Quignon get the start in the midfield. Quignon had the goal against the Timbers back in April. Hader O'Brien, O'Brien, I should say, gets a start out on the left. Alan Velasco out on the right. The two up top, Jesus Ferreira, 10 goals so far this season. In a tie for the Golden Boot race coming into tonight. And Jesus Jimenez, the number 9 for FC Dallas as well. Nico Estevez, the second-year manager for FC Dallas, looking for his 23rd win as manager of the club. They come in 7-5-5 on 26 points, which is tied for third in the West. The Timbers 4-7-5 on 17 points. That is 12th in the West coming into this evening. Timbers scoreless draw last week against Seattle, the third time in 4 matches it's failed to score. They had only had 3 matches in the previous 36 where they'd failed to score before that. As our referee Ted Uncle gets us underway, Timbers attacking right to left across your radio dial here to start, and Dallas will go left to right towards the south end of the stadium. And early ball forward from Dallas, handball called as it was controlled over there on the far side by O'Brien, but deemed it was with that left arm. As we are in the first minute, Timbers quickly get it back underway. We mentioned the struggles that the roadsides have had in this affair all time, and see what role that plays tonight. But Keith, more importantly, the issues that the Timbers have had scoring a concern, but maybe here an early chance for Portland. Frank Bully gets a shot off, takes a deflection, and it will be a corner kick for the Timbers within the first minute. So we've seen Bully do this a couple times at home, Keith. Get off to a quick start. He gets a shot off there that's deflected.
I was just about to say, Bully has started matches very well for the Portland Timbers in the last month. Unfortunately, after about 20, 30 minutes, they have a hard time feeding him, giving him service, and he tends to fade a little bit. So you'd like to see a little more consistency, but he is lively to start matches, and that's a really, really positive sign for the Timbers.
Evander will send this one in, a right-footed outswinger from that far flag. Bully shows short. Evander chooses not to use them. We'll send it in looking for Eric Miller, top of the box. Miller leaves it for Diego Chara. Chara will send it out wide to the near side to Mosquera. Mosquera tries a cutback, gets into the box. He's found in the box, and it's a penalty kick for the Timbers in the second minute. Mosquera was taken down right at the corner of the box. Ted Uncle was right there, immediately blew his whistle and pointed to the spot.
Might take a look at this on video as well. In fact, I am sure that that is what Kevin Terry Jr. is doing, just to back up Ted Uncle. But Mosquera, nice little slide around the former Portland Timber, Marco Farfan. And it was a little bit of a drawn-up corner kick. They're going to look at video. They're going to go to video on this. But I love the little clip ball at the top. I'm not sure if Eric Miller dummied that on purpose, or if that was all stuff that was choreographed, but the ball eventually was slid diagonally from Chara to Mosquera. Mosquera, we know, is very dangerous on the dribble, got into the box, and now they're going to take a closer look at this.
Kevin Terry Jr. is our VAR for the evening, and it is not going to be called a foul. Overturned, it appears.
And now FC Dallas is arguing for simulation. They think Mosquera should get a yellow card. If it's not a foul, and he's actually giving a free kick to FC Dallas, should have been a yellow card for Mosquera if he simulated to try to draw the penalty kick.
So the early point to the spot by Ted Unkel is overruled as he goes back and looks at the video. Kevin Terry Jr. blew that one right away and wanted Unkel to come back and take a look. So we continue on. Dallas already back with the ball down in the attacking third. Timbers looking to release pressure. Moreno gets it to Bully. Bully does well hold-up play-wise. Gets it out to Evander, who has space here on the near side. He tries to play a pass down the line for Moreno. If he would have found him, it could have been Moreno in 1v1 versus Paz. Instead, it's knocked away and out for a Timbers throw-in directly in front of Gio Savarese. Bright start for the Timbers here in the first 4 minutes, Keith.
Yeah, energetic. And we've gone box to box already very quickly. So it should be a good one to watch. We didn't see as much football as we would like last weekend up in Seattle. I think the Timbers are out to make a point tonight.
Great ball forward here by Mosquera. Picks out Diego Chara. Down by the end line. Chara tries to curl one with the right foot, but can't get his foot around it. And it's out for a goal kick.
See, and this is the thing for me, Fletch. Who was that? That was Diego Chara pulling out from his defensive midfield spot, getting away from that number 6 role, and making a vertical run up the edge of the 18. When you get 2 or 3 midfielders forward, you're going to create quality chances, and that's what they did not do last weekend. They have a real intent this evening, although we're just 4 minutes in.
Gio told us midweek he really wants kind of a push and pull for his team if they need to play more defensive early on or at different stages of this match, be able to do that and play out on the counter. But then he also wants his team to have some of the ball in this match and control the game to allow them to get numbers into the attack and cause problems for FC Dallas. As Portland remains in possession, Mosquera going back post for Moreno. Moreno, a little shoulder in the back of Nkosi Tafari, and a foul is called on Moreno right at the top of the box. A restart for Dallas.
Dallas setting up what looks to be more of almost like a 4-2-4. They push those wide midfielders inside. That gives Velasco and Obrian a chance to push into more central channels.
Jesus and Miller rise to win. The header goes over both of them, and it's out for a Timbers throw right at the edge of their defensive third. Miller will be asked to go back to where that ball went out of play. Miller kind of been a jack-of-all-trades-man for the Timbers along that back line. Has played a few different positions, mostly a right back, but with the suspension of Bravo, gets a start at left back here this evening. Not a great pass there, turns it over as he was trying to find Paredes. Now here's Obrian with it. He'll go central for Jesus Jimenez, and Dario Zupric there with a strong challenge to knock it away, and here comes Asprilla bringing it across midfield the other direction. Asprilla overlapping run from Mosquera. Instead will play central. Not a good look from Asprilla as Moreno was there but didn't see the defender. Now Moreno with it, tries to dribble through 2 defenders, cannot do so, and Dallas will release the pressure out towards midfield. Velasco can't control, though, in front of Miller, and another Timbers throw-in in the attacking half.
Exploit the space in behind. The Portland Timbers, when Marco Farfan takes off, looking to create that overload on that left side, if you can capitalize on a turnover and get into that space behind Farfan right away, you're going to have some joy. Asprilla and Mosquera did exactly that.
Good hold-up work by Bully to get the ball in and back to Evander, now into space for Mosquera, far side of the field. Mosquera cuts central, leaves for Paredes. Paredes will shoot a curling right-footed shot, not much on it, and easy stuff for Martin Paz there, standing right at the top of the 6.
Good build-up, though, and a good idea. He was kind of caught in 2 minds there on the shot, Paredes. You know, you kind of want to just put your laces through that, hit a knuckler that you hope sails into the upper 90. I'm not sure if you're going to bend one with the inside of your boot from 35 yards out. So ultimately tame and easy stuff for the FC Dallas goalkeeper.
Timbers doing well to turn over Dallas in their own half. They do it once again here. Here's Miller, goes central for Bully. Bully nearly nutmegs Cerrillo, but Cerrillo does enough to keep possession. And then the Timbers turn it over, or get a turnover once again. Here's Evander with it, 25 yards from goal. We'll play it out wide for Asprilla, corner of the box. Asprilla tries a cross. It's blocked away, And now Dallas will come the other direction. Here's Velasco central, but again, his touch lets him down. Asprilla actually touches it into space for Jimenez, though. Jimenez, full head of steam forward, top of the half circle, finds Obrian. Obrian's shot is blocked by McGraw, only as far as Velasco. Velasco blocked away from him by Diego Chara, and now the Timbers bring it back the other direction. End-to-end stuff here early in the first 10 minutes at Providence Park. Beautiful night, 73 degrees at kickoff, and entertaining for the 20,000 plus in attendance here this evening thus far.
Such a big block by big Zach McGraw, coming up with the goods defensively in the box. See a really clear trend kind of coming to fruition here for both the Timbers and FC Dallas. They both want to stream forward, get numbers in the attack. Look where Juan Mosquera is. He's basically at the top of the 18.
Great, a nutmeg by Evander finds Mosquera. Mosquera's shot is blocked by Paz off the post and then headed out by Sebastian Ibiaga, giving the Timbers their second corner kick of the night. But great build up there by Portland and a nifty touch by Evander to get it through the defender and get it to Mosquera.
Strong left hand by Paz, got the job done at his near post. But what's happening is the Timbers are getting 7-8 players forward. Love to see that. But when you turn it over, you've got to be really careful with that counterattack. It's almost like the Timbers getting a taste of their own medicine.
Evander's right-footed outswinger, header won by Ibiaga, only as far as Miller, top of the box. Miller's cross blocked, and Paz is out to collect. Paz goes down, foul called. Actually, the offside flag is up on Christian Paredes. Paz remaining down on the field. Now he looks to be okay. Was trying to sell the foul just in case Paredes wasn't deemed to be in an offside position. But he was, and it'll be a restart for Dallas.
I love the Timbers Army. I love them. But I don't get the chorus of boos there because he was clearly offside, and then he clearly fouled Martin Paz. But you get away with what you can up there in those stands at Providence Park.
Definitely has the feel of an entertaining 90 minutes, or now 80 minutes left coming our way here on a beautiful early June night, as the Timbers have had about two-thirds of the possession thus far. Evander finds Asprilla 30 yards from goal. Asprilla plays Mosquera on an overlapping run, a little too far out in front of him. He is able to collect over on that far sideline. Now back to Evander 30 yards from goal, and the Timbers take a little possession here. Evander, far side, so it looks central for Asprilla. Ibiaga wins the header. Jimenez tries a kind of back heel, does not come off. Now Bully chipping over the top for Moreno. Ibiaga does well to get something on that. Then it's put to Asprilla, who heads it over to Evander. His shot's blocked by Tafari, who then gets it out to touch on the far side.
Pause again. Didn't use his paws, used his feet. Well, that's a kick save and a beauty. What a crafty little chip over the top. Nearly ended up in a goal for Evander at the back post. That's really pretty from the one and only Diego Chara.
Just seems as though there's a shield in front of the goal for the Timbers right now. Their one goal in the last four matches came in the 8th minute, courtesy of Frank Bully in that May 28th match against Sporting Kansas City.
But they've created more in 11 minutes than, to be honest and fair, than they did in 90 minutes up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Now, they were defense first up there. But, yeah, they're streaming forward in numbers.
10 shots in that match against Seattle. Their expected goal was .27, which is the lowest for any team in Major League Soccer since that stat was tracked to have at least 10 shots. Timbers back with it. Zupric has it in the center circle. The Croatian plays to his center back mate, Zach McGraw. Big switch over to Evander now on the far side. Great ball by McGraw to pick out a fellow birthday boy from this week for the Timbers. He'll play it back to Mosquera near midfield. Now to Diego Chara. And the Timbers happy to play a bit of possession here as they've had nearly 68% of the ball through the first 13 minutes of this one. Miller goes central for Paredes. Great one touch to find Asprilla here on the near wing. And then Asprilla is going to be called for a high arm into the face of Giovanni Jesus. Jesus down in front of Gio Savarese. Savarese not happy about that call, and the fourth official, Brandon Stevis, coming over to talk to Gio Savarese. Jesus down. Looks like it was a bit of a sell from the 21-year-old Brazilian right back. Asprilla comes over to just check and make sure he's okay. Also kind of say, he didn't really hit you in the face. I think you're fine. Will they actually be calling a foul here on Jesus? Looks like that must have been the call holding Asprilla. And so GS Everese happy now that the foul wasn't on Dairon Asprilla, instead on the right back for Dallas.
Yep. Taps the back of the fourth official, Brandon Stevens.
So Evander will send this one in just from the edge of the Timbers technical area, about 5 yards from this near sideline. He'll hit it, looking towards a penalty spot. Asprilla wins the header, and it's saved by Paz. Offside flag was up, though, anyways, on Asprilla, so it would not have counted if it went in, but Paz appears to be on his game here early.
Yes, 3 big saves. That one won't necessarily end up in the ledger, but Martin Paz quietly having a very good year for FC Dallas. The Dutch product, played for the youth national teams in the Netherlands. He is the real deal, and had a 40-minute clean sheet on Wednesday, in which FC Dallas resumed a weather-postponed match against St. Louis and won 2-0. But Paz is keeping his team in this match early.
As Bullies called for a foul on Jesus. So they'll get the ball, and it'll be a restart for Dallas near midfield. Providence believes health is a human right. They're committed to serving those in need and addressing the social factors that impact health. Join Providence in creating health for a better world at providenceoregon.org. Here's a big ball over the top, looking for Jesus. McGraw wins the header. Velasco picks up the second ball, though it's deemed to have gone off of his arm. So a restart for the Timbers in the 15th minute, as we are a quarter hour in here at Providence Park. If you're just joining us, pleasure to have you along. Fletcher Johnson and Keith Blyer here with you on 750 The Game and streaming on Apple TV this evening as well. Beautiful night in Portland with the Timbers outpossessing Dallas 2-1, or I guess 66-33, if you will, so far in this one. Out shooting Dallas as well, 3-1. Here's Asprilla with it, coming down this far side. Early ball in, looking for Bully. Handled well by Ibiaga. Out to touch by Tafari for a Timbers throw-in. Timbers possession up to about 72% now, as they've controlled the early stages, but nothing to quite show for it yet. Facundo Quignon makes his first real impact in this one, taking the ball away from the Timbers. Though, again, Dallas can't get out easily. Evander tries to control off his chest, but he fouls Ibiaga. And now Evander's going to be shown a yellow card. First foul committed by Evander. Ted Unkel, very demonstrative, pulling that yellow card out of his pocket and showing it to the Brazilian midfielder for the Timbers.
And it's not for the foul, Fletch. It's for that really histrionic wave of the arm. I mean, he pumped his fist, but it wasn't right in Ted Unkel's face. Giovanni Savarese, I'm sure, is making the argument to Brandon Davis down there that, listen, these are professionals. This match means a lot. We didn't think it was a foul. He didn't show you up, but it's kind of a silly thing out of Evander, and now he's got to carry a caution for the rest of the match.
Great work by Zach McGraw. Strong tackle, taking down Giovanni Jesus. Yeah, it's the disappointing thing for sure in that yellow card is you see plenty of players around the league do that and not receive the yellow card. Nice ball popped over the top by Evander for Moreno. Moreno misplays it the first time, and Velasco takes it right off of him. Disappointing end result there to that build-up from the Timbers. High press trying to turn him back over, but this time Dallas does well to work it out of the back over to the far side to Marco Farfan.
But look at where Frank Bully is. The recovery defending gets all the way out to that far side of the pitch, gets behind the ball to make sure that Marco Farfan can't get forward. Now they're really committed here to those transitional moments.
Yeah, Vander momentarily playing in a more advanced role than Bully as Dallas has the ball. And I think Dallas, having only had about 30% of the possession thus far, happy to settle things down a little bit and try and cool off the momentum that the Timbers had built up over that first quarter hour. Dallas Scored in 15 of 17 matches so far this year. Ball over the top looking for Jimenez. Easy stuff, though, for David Bingham, as Jimenez was never going to be able to track that one down. But again, similar to the first time these two played so far, or this year, Jesus Ferreira very quiet through the first nearly 20 minutes. Don't know if he's even really had a touch yet to speak of. Playing right alongside Diego Char right now as the Timbers pass it along the back. McGraw picks out Evander. Evander immediate square ball to Miller, who'll go back to McGraw. McGraw then trying to figure out his options, just punts it forward with his left foot out to touch near midfield.
It's a real high tempo to this match through 18 minutes, Fletch. Not a lot of possession, not a lot of east to west. Teams are winning it, settling it, looking to make vertical passes as quickly as they can. I actually think FC Dallas would do themselves a favor by finding the other side of the field a little bit more often, which is what they're doing right now.
Yep, they get it out to Farfan, who goes to O'Brien. Central to Quignon and back to Tafari. Nineteenth minute, still scoreless between the Timbers and Dallas.
Interesting rotation here. Marco Farfan, stand-in central midfielder there for a couple minutes. And now Cerrillo checking back in. Quignon had taken Farfan's spot wide left.
So ball forward from Tafari looking for Velasco. Miller there, but Miller loses out to Velasco. Tried to shield him. Velasco did well to keep it. Now he dumps Miller down to the ground right near the end line. Velasco lays it off for Cerrillo, top of the box, now 30 yards away. Now to Jesus. Jesus, prep touch, will send a ball into the box. Looking back post. Mosquera does well to shield O'Brien away from that one. Asprilla pops it into the air and then heads along only as far as Quignon. And then Quignon cannot get it to Marco Farfan out to touch.
You know, without Areola and Leggett and Pomacall, I said just before kickoff, I think one of the danger men for FC Dallas tonight might be Velasco. And he got the better part of Eric Miller there, not once, but twice. He's a dangerous man in the attacking third for Dallas. I actually thought they should have gone with a first-time shot when he pulled that ball back, as Frank Bully's frustration is now showing. And see, this for me, when you slam the ball down with your fist into the turf right in front of the referee, I believe that's more of a potential yellow card for dissent than what Evander did from 25 yards away from Ted Uncle. A little bit confused by the decision-making here, at least in terms of the discipline of the Portland Timbers after being called for fouls.
So first real restart opportunity for Dallas comes just inside their attacking half. Velasco and Farfan standing over this one. It'll either be the right foot of Velasco, left foot of Farfan. Velasco will float a ball in towards a penalty spot. Asprilla easily wins the header. And then Ferreira able to get a touch to it. Cannot control it, though. Timbers could be out on the break here if they hurry. Here's the ball at the feet of Bully. Numbers for the Timbers if they hurry. It's a 4v3. Bully tries to play a through ball to Santiago Moreno, who was making a diagonal run, but right as Bully sent the pass, Moreno stopped his run. Evander on the other side of the field kind of raising his hands wanting the ball, and that's a missed opportunity for Portland.
What I do like, though, is that Moreno and Bully looked at each other, kind of smiled, gave each other a little high five, and got on with business. Moreno wanted the ball to his feet. He had those two hands, palms out, facing down. He wanted to combine with Bully. Bully wanted to make that straight ball to a diagonal run rather than a little combo.
22nd minute. Timbers out shooting Dallas 3-1. Still scoreless, though. Bingham trying to pick out Moreno. Moreno can't get on the end of it. Bully thought he might try to chase that one down before it races across the end line. Wasn't going to get there. And decides to check the run and allow that one to run out of play. Lexus is giving away the Ultimate 2023 VIP Fan Package. Prize includes 2 Lexus Club tickets to the Timbers vs. Austin FC away match on September 17th, VIP merchandise, round-trip airfare, and 3-night stay in Austin. Enter at timbers.com/Lexus. Here's Pause with it, trying to figure out how Dallas can build out of the back with the Timbers pressing high. Ferreira comes all the way back into the defensive third to get it, and he gets a return pass now to Velasco. Velasco goes central for Quinion, and Dallas did well to break the pressure there. Now to Ferreira, corner of the box. First real touch for him, puts it central. It's behind his man. Chara picks it up, leaves it for Bingham, who will now send it out towards midfield over the top of Evander, so nothing he can do, and then ball played all the way back to pause.
Good work by Chara. Nice composure out of David Bingham, a man who hasn't played for a couple months. Did not panic with the ball at his feet inside his 6-yard box.
Yeah, Bingham started for the first 5 for the Timbers. That scoreless draw with the LA Galaxy came out in second half stoppage time to make an important intervention and pulled his hamstring. We had not seen him since until tonight. Again, Alija Ivičić away with the Slovenian national team. So creates an opportunity for David Bingham. Juan David Mosquera will be gone with the Colombian national team here in a few weeks. As ball over the top, looking for Ferreira, controlled off the chest by Zach McGraw nicely. Out to Miller, back to McGraw, who will just kick it forward with that left boot. Ibiaga wins the header, gets it to Quinion. Quinion, though, loses out to Paredes. Now to Evander in the center circle. He's got Juan David Mosquera making a big run forward. Mosquera, acres of space in front of him, will play central for Paredes, right inside the half circle. Back out to Mosquera. Too much on that one. Can Mosquera track it down before it runs across the end line? No. It's a goal kick.
That's where you might say a little too cute. I think Paredes has got the ball at his feet, top of the arc. We know he can put his foot through it. I think it was time to let fly there by Paredes. But you know what's really impressed me out of the Paraguayan midfielder is his defensive pressure in Seattle and to start this match. He does not let anybody sit on the ball for very long in the midfield. Hassles those opponents, does not let them get a clean touch, and that leads to those turnovers and those opportunities to get forward really quickly.
Dallas once again trying to build out of the back. They did it well last time. This time Ferreira missed with a bit of a mistouch, and it ends up off the head of Miller, out to touch in front of Gio Savarese.
And Dallas has got to find the switch. You look at where Asprilla is. Asprilla's loading the midfield. Farfan wide open on the far side.
O'Brien goes down, rolls around, or does about 3 somersaults and remains down behind the play. And Ted Uncle is going to blow the whistle, saying that it was a head injury. O'Brien's holding on to the back of his head. But again, Ted Uncle giving plenty for Timbers Army and the other supporters that are here. Plenty to boo about, though that is the rule. Anytime there's a suspected or potential head injury or collision involving a head, the referee needs to stop play and allow the technical or the training staffs to come out and take a look, as Jesse Ramirez, the FC Dallas head trainer, out to take a look at Hader O'Brien, or O'Brien, I should say.
You'll do that a couple more times.
Yep.
I did it as well, Fletch. He's from Colombia. He is not from Ireland. But Bingham came out. It was a little awkward at the top of the box. I think he got his hands to the ball before O'Brien did anything. And Bingham pretty animated in stating his case to Ted Uncle. I don't think there's any true video review taking place. O'Brien was rolling around trying to get something out of it, but not a penalty for me.
Are doing a little bit of a concussion test with O'Brien, who will now trot off to this near side of the field, and the independent medical advisor will want to take a look at O'Brien before he's allowed to come back out on the field. So Dallas will momentarily play down a man until O'Brien gets clearance to come back on the field. It'll be a drop ball from Ted Uncle for the Timbers just inside their defensive half. And Nico Estevez trying to get O'Brien back on the field. The independent medical advisor finally gives the thumbs up. O'Brien wants to come back out. Fourth official, Brandon Stevis, holding him back momentarily, waiting for Ted Uncle to wave him back on. And finally, O'Brien's back on. Dangerous pass for Foley, who gets a touch to it. He was trying to control it. It ended up being a dangerous kind of deflected shot opportunity off of his right foot that Paz was not prepared for, but it rolls just wide of Paz' right post.
Slow motion. That was one that you don't need a replay for. You're watching it at a quarter speed. It rolled very temptingly by that post on our side. But just missing the Timbers. Just missing. And Paz has made the saves. We talked about, quality chances getting forward. Sometimes they want a combination play and they try to play a through ball. Sometimes a player wants the ball through and they're trying to play to his feet. Just out of sync a little bit. But the Timbers are dangerous as we approach the half-hour mark.
This has been the issue, though, Keith, is especially in home matches, they're that way for the first little bit of the match. They don't get anything out of it, and then it seems difficult for them to keep up that level of energy, that level of press, to continue to turn teams over, keep possession of the ball, create more opportunities. So can they continue to do it throughout the remainder of this first half? Reminds you of the last time the Timbers were in this building when they seemed to do that against Minnesota for the first half hour, but then Minnesota ended up winning that one after the Timbers just couldn't quite keep up that energy level. Bully turns it over. Tafara does a great job to get on it. Zuperich misplays this one. Velasco has it, and Dallas could be 3v3 if they hurry here. Instead, they'll go out wide to Jesus Jimenez, who will get it back to Cerrillo, to Quignon, and back to Cerrillo 45 yards from goal. Out of Quignon. Quignon picks out Jesus Ferreira. Again, quiet first half for one of the men that is leading the Golden Boot race in Major League Soccer here halfway through the season. Jesus Ferreira, of his 10 goals, though, 4 have come in the 80th minute or later, with 3 of them being game winners. That is leading Major League Soccer in both of those categories. Dallas with possession in the Timbers' defensive half. 30th minute, half-hour mark, scoreless between the Timbers and Dallas. Here's Jimenez, overlapping run from Farfan. Farfan too heavy of a touch, and then kind of hits it and hits the boards right in front of those South End fans. He apologizes. You're lucky you didn't take someone out there in that front row.
Maybe he saw like his a sibling or a family member from Gresham and just said, "Hey, I'm going to wake you up, Mom." Good to see Marco Farfan back in the building, as we mentioned, out of Gresham, Oregon. Really the product out of the Timbers Academy to this point that has made a solid name for himself in Major League Soccer. Had that year with LAFC, but has found a home in a longer-term contract with Dallas and got the goal on Wednesday. Really neat to see that as they beat City SC 2-0 in that resumed match.
Yeah, 3-year deal in the offseason that he earned because of his play as O'Brien fouls Paredes. He was upset that he lost out to Paredes, the Paraguayan midfielder, continuing to be strong in defense. And here's Asprilla now with a big switch over to the far side to Moreno. It's a great ball that Moreno controls well off his right thigh. Defended by Giovanni Jesus. Back to Evander. Important touch from Quignon. Knocks it away from Evander. Velasco now under pressure, trying to get through two, and he does.
How did he do that?
And then gets it out to Ferreira. Advantage being played here. Ball over the top for Jimenez. Jimenez controls. Looked like it came off that left arm. He's got it in front of Zuperich. Zach McGraw gets a foot to it. And then Paredes knocks it away from O'Brien, only as far as Quignon, 35 yards from goal.
Look at Paredes. He is a beast. He is playing so well.
Tracking runners all over that midfield. Now he's marking Cerrillo, who has the ball. Now to Quignon. Quignon central and not controlled well there by O'Brien. Timbers bring it the other way. Bully leaves for Diego Char. Out into space for Santi Moreno. Moreno will track this one down and has plenty of room to work here on the near side. Tafari comes over to defend. Moreno dribbling into the box. Looking over to that near or far side for Evander. It's headed away, though, well by Ibiaga, who has been active in this first half here tonight.
What you do there is every once in a while, even if you're a Timbers fan, you have to applaud the opponent. And the way that FC Dallas recovered, that emergency defending in that transitional moment, they got 6 players back before the Timbers could get 4 players forward. It was Ibiaga that got his head to it, but a collective team effort to get back and handle that and then make the first pass to feet, really impressive out of the roadside.
Timbers have done well when Dallas get numbers forward, getting the ball over the top into space, but just lacking that final pass and then that final touch to get into the back of the net.
It's more animated and it's more collective, and you got more options up there than the match last weekend in Seattle, but they're still, just like I said, just a tick off their pace.
Miller goes back for Bingham, who does well to control under a bit of pressure from Ferreira. Tafari picks up the ball forward from Bingham and goes back to his goalkeeper. Miller has the ball go off the back of Velasco out to touch. Quickly thrown in by Miller. Now to Moreno. Center circle for Zuperich. 34th minute. Timbers out shooting Dallas 4-1. Scoreless, though, between these two. Most of the east side of the stadium still in the sun, but the field completely in the shade now. As a ball over the top looking for Mosquera has too much on it, and Dallas will have a restart in the 34th minute. Been a fun watch tonight, Keith. Certainly more fun than that Portland-Seattle match last week.
They got a lot of energy in their legs, and I'm surprised after all the birthday cake this week. I thought they'd be a little bit slower. Well, there are 4 Timbers players that have celebrated a birthday in the last few days, including Eric Williamson today. Happy birthday to him. But it just the conditions for the match are perfect. FC Dallas didn't put too much on their legs with that 40-minute affair on Wednesday. Nothing midweek for the Timbers.
Here's a header back into the box by Dario Zuperich as Tafari just sent it long towards midfield. Zuperich got it back into the box. Evander tried to get a touch on it with his right foot, but it was just too far out in front of him. Pause collected and now holds it and will send it long instead of trying to build out of the back.
Have you called the name Jesus Ferreira much?
I think about 2 or 3 times in this first half. That's really all he's done, and really the one big buildup that Dallas had, it was through Ferreira. Now here's Evander. Evander will curl one in over the top for Bowie, whose header is in, and the Timbers take the lead in the 35th minute on Bowie's 4th goal of the season.
You could sense it was coming, and it did. And it's the man who can drop a soccer ball on a dime. It is Evander clipping that in for the new Timbers central forward, the Ivorian Frank Boley, who comes out of that in a little bit of pain. But just a clipped ball bent in, and it wasn't Boley standing in space. He attacked that ball. He got across Marco Farfan and behind Tafari. Give Paz credit. He got his left hand on it, but that is a deserved goal for the Timbers, and Bully has 2-2 against this Dallas side. Portland cannot be done now. They got to keep going, get that second and third goal. FC Dallas will not be fazed by going down a goal. I mentioned that before kickoff tonight. They're a resilient group.
Yep.
But Portland's a good start.
3-5-1 are Dallas when they allow the first goal. The other thing to note is that the Timbers have scored just 1 goal in each of the last 7 meetings with Dallas during the regular season. So can they put another one in the back of the net? But as Keith mentioned, a deserved goal for the Timbers in the way that they played through this first just over a half hour. Quignon go down this near side for Jesus. His pass blocked by Santiago Moreno. Jesus was going down. Moreno picked up the ball. Now to Diego Chara, into space for Evander. Evander controls with that right foot, gets it out into space, far side of the field for Mosquera. Timbers still in their defensive half. Now forward for Asprilla. Asprilla dribbling negative and plays it back to Dario Zuperich. Zuperich will go to Bingham. Was an important goal for the Timbers. One of those, Keith, that if we had played this first half and the Timbers had not scored, you'd have felt, man, so much good soccer, but nothing to show for it, which there have been stretches of the season where you feel that way for the Timbers, so needed that one to get that one, I guess I should say, here in the first half.
And I want Bully to stay hungry. You know, I don't want to be satisfied with that first goal. With the aggressive positioning of Evander and Christian Paredes, I think he's going to get some more service tonight.
Here's Jimenez tracking it down, but cannot do anything with it. It rolls across the end line for a Timbers goal kick. Moreno with the pressure, but Jimenez and Ferreira, the two men up top in this 4-4-2 for Dallas, certainly have left a lot to be desired in the moments where they have actually had the opportunity to touch the ball, which has not been often.
Ferreira's maybe single digits when it comes to touches. And I've seen him, Fletch, and I mentioned this, he'll come all the way back into the midfield. He'll float out wide. He'll look for any space he can. But he's a frustrated figure right now, tied for the lead in scoring in Major League Soccer with 10.
Timbers switch the point of attack over here to the near side. Moreno gets away from Velasco. He has an overlapping run from Miller. Instead, we'll use Asprilla central, and then Asprilla tried an outside of the right boot flick to find Miller making that run down that near side, but it was too far in front of him. Goal kick Dallas.
Miller doesn't have, he wants to be defense first, as we mentioned. He kind of, there's a little hitch in that giddy up, and that stopped him from getting to the ball before it rolled over the byline.
Hader Oberon does well to control off of his chest in front of Mosquera, and then Zuperich commits the foul. Restart Dallas just inside their attacking half. And not really a dangerous opportunity to send a ball into the box, so instead they will just go short. Velasco out to Farfan. Back to Velasco. As we approach the final 5 minutes at the end of the first half here at Providence Park. Timbers leading 1-0 thanks to a Frank Bully goal moments ago, assisted by Evander on a beautiful curling ball into the box with his right foot.
So Ferreira gets a touch, but he has to go back and get square to his defensive midfielder, Edwin Cerrillo, to get that touch. And all he does is play it square. Here's Ferreira coming all the way back into that midfield line.
Giovanni Jesus finds Jesus Jimenez, who can't control. Paredes tries to get around a couple players. And his pass deflected back to Alan Velasco. Velasco, no numbers forward here for Dallas, really. So they'll reset to get the bodies forward. Jimenez, Ferreira, and more.
Part of the reason is Ferreira's dropping into the midfield to get some joy. Velasco has switched out to the left wing.
Here's Jesus, who can't control. A bit of miscommunication between him and Obrian here on the near side, as Obrian was making a run forward instead of coming back to pick that ball up. You mentioned Ferreira. The only other time that he really had much play was when Dallas was trying to build out of the back. He came and picked it up along the defensive line and was able to unlock the Timbers defense, and that was really the one dangerous attack forward that Dallas had in this first half. Bully controls off his chest, and Giovanni Jesus comes and picks it up. He sends it forward looking for Jimenez. Header won by McGraw. Now to Evander. Evander out into space. He's dispossessed by Cerrillo. Cerrillo will track this one down in between Mosquera and Zuperich. Cerrillo's back pass for Velasco does not do well, though. And then Evander goes down. No foul called. Cerrillo picks it up, gets it into space for Quino 50 yards from goal. Now to Ferreira. Ferreira pressured by Paredes, and an unnecessary foul by Paredes on Ferreira 40 yards from goal. Ferreira then barks something at Paredes, who goes and walks back and says something back to him. But an unnecessary foul by Paredes, as Ferreira really wasn't doing anything with that ball, and it gives Dallas a chance to bring their center backs forward here in the 42nd minute, send the ball into the box. Certainly where you miss Ariola and Leggett, though. Players a little bit more of a cultured touch to send this one in. It's once again Alan Velasco and Marco Farfan standing over it. Two guys with 4 assists make that 14 assists to their names in their MLS careers combined. Uncle blows his whistle. And Velasco will go far side looking for Tafari. Goes over the top of him. Hader Obrian collects. Timbers raised the arm for offside. Flag did not go up, though. Now here's Velasco to take a shot, and it's well wide of Bingham's net.
Dallas still looking for their first shot on target. Very speculative attempt there, and a wasted free kick as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure what that spun ball out wide over the top of everybody that pushes half of their team out of the box was worth.
Dallas back with it. Miller does well to dispossess Velasco. Velasco then kind of puts his shoulder into the back of Bully. Surprised we didn't get a call there.
You know, tit for tat for me, though, Fletch. I mean, the Timbers are very aggressive, very physical defensively. They got to expect some of that in return.
Bad turnover by Cerrillo. Santiago Moreno, a couple step overs right at the top of the box. Bully tries to pass it back to Moreno. Does not come off, though. Timbers keep it, though. Here's Asprilla, 25 yards from goal. Overlapping run from Mosquera. Mosquera, ball into the box. Parried away by Paz and out to Quignon. Here's O'Brien now. 43rd minute, about to move into the 44th.
I'm going to call Mosquera green light because the green light is always on for Juan David Mosquera. He does not hesitate. Asprilla doesn't even need to look and see it visually. He knows he's coming on the overlap.
Yeah, with Mosquera there, it's like to see if maybe he can cut that one back and try and pick out someone at the top of the box. Here's Jimenez, gets through Diego Chara, now runs into the wall of Dario Zuparic, and Zuparic takes it away from him with relative ease. Bully, Moreno, back to Bully, back heel to Moreno, who gets it to Paredes. Great work by those two to keep possession for the Timbers. Now Zuparic out into space for Asprilla. Asprilla, far side of the field, 30 yards from the end line. Go back to Mosquera as we approach the final minute of the first half, pending stoppage time.
You know, sometimes you just take a step back or look at it a little bit with a wider lens, Fletch. The Timbers are playing good football tonight. I just think there's quality, and they're linking well. They're valuing the ball. They're transitioning well. Everybody's doing the defensive job. They're switching the point of attack. Solid A performance for me so far. They deserve the 1-0.
Bad turnover here by Dallas once again. Here's Evander. He has Bully central. Tries a nifty little flick over the top. This one doesn't quite come off. That would have been tough to find Bully there, as Gio now wants his team to get back into their defensive posture. Here's Ferreira with it, picking it up in the center circle. Picks up his head. Tries to get a ball out to O'Brien. It's headed away by Mosquera and picked up by Asprilla. Asprilla riding the challenge of O'Brien, and then O'Brien takes down Asprilla. And we should see a card here for O'Brien, and we indeed do. So first caution of the afternoon shown to Dallas, and it goes to Hader O'Brien as we hit first half stoppage time, where we will play 3 minutes. And we are into it already.
100% a caution for O'Brien. He's kind of been on the edge emotionally through this first half. Asprilla got the better of him. The ball was gone. O'Brien didn't need to do it necessarily. He just held out that arm, and Asprilla very wisely goes to ground.
Well, and argue it all you want, but that's the thing is he didn't have to grab him. And Darwin Asprilla did well to earn that foul and give Evander a chance. That is second assist of the evening. Send this one in. Zuparic and McGraw both come forward for this free kick. Come from the far side of the field, about 5 yards from the sideline, 35 yards from the end line. Evander waiting. Now will strike it. Goes near post. Picks out Paredes. Paredes touches it once but can't control, and it harmlessly rolls across the end line for FC Dallas. 1 minute into the added 3 here at the end of the first half, with the Timbers leading 1-0.
I don't think Gio knew how many minutes were added. He was too busy looking at the setup for the free kick to see the board over on the side. He was tapping his wrist and looking at his staff.
Well, like you said, Keith, this has been good stuff from the Timbers. Probably the best stuff we've seen maybe since the Minnesota match, or maybe the very, very early stages of that Sporting Kansas City match on May 28th.
Yeah, not necessarily as lethal yet. A good goal, but just the quality of the soccer and the performance. Everybody on board. Most people really sharp. And then you got Zach McGraw just launching his body into people. He's just such a tough customer.
Yeah, and Jesus Jimenez comes out worse for the wear in that one, of grabbing at his right ankle. Timbers saying it should be their throw-in. The play is stopped as Jesus Jimenez appears to be in fair amount of pain down there right in front of the Dallas bench. And Jesse Ramirez, the trainer for Dallas, will once again be called on to take a look at the number 9, 29-year-old Spaniard, Jesus Jimenez.
Very thin bench for FC Dallas. We've mentioned all of their injured players. There aren't too many options. This young 21-year-old, born in Tanzania by the name of Bernard Kamungo. It would be fun to watch him play. Wears the 77 shirt. Guy who moved to Abilene, Texas, attended an open tryout for North Texas, their second team in Dallas. Makes the team, moves up, gets a goal. He's probably the top attacking option off the bench tonight.
And not to mention it was just an open tryout, Keith, but you had to pay $90 to even participate in this open tryout where he impressed the North Texas
coach. That's when you know it is a true open tryout. All right?
If you want to come, you got to pay.
Thanks for showing up. Sign the waiver. We need $90. Here's your T-shirt. But you know what? I love it, though, because, that just shows you that it can happen, that dreams can come true. And somebody like that who comes from a country like Tanzania, entire family moves to the U.S., probably didn't speak much English, and it can happen.
Jesus Jimenez off the field had to be basically carried off by the trainer and has his hands over his face now, so you'd think that he is not going to potentially be re-entering this match. Dallas will probably try and see if they can just make it to the end of the first half. We played the added 3, but we didn't play for about a minute and a half there, so kind of left to the discretion of Ted Unkel as to how much more time we'll play. But Jimenez likely going to be done as they look at that right ankle of his. Did not see a whole ton in that challenge, but maybe got his foot caught in the turf when he came back down as he and McGraw went in for that challenge together. Restart for Dallas. McGraw wins the header over Velasco. And then Kenion's header back to McGraw. He heads it away again. Tafari in the center circle just hits it long, and Bingham will collect with ease. And there is the end of the first half as Ted Unkel blows his whistle. And the Timbers will take a lead to the break, courtesy of Frank Bully in the 35th minute, assisted by Evander. Evander's third assist of 2023, and Diego Chara, an assist, his first of the 2023 season in this, his 350th start in Major League Soccer, all with the Portland Timbers, and his 400th appearance across all competitions. Still doing it at a high level is the ageless wonder, Diego Chara. Adam Sussman here with the halftime show next. He'll take you through the MLS scoreboard from the weekend and get the thoughts of Keith Blyer on the first half. Timbers outshoot Dallas 4-2, and they take a 1-0 lead to the break here at Providence Park.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and make all sorts of unforgettable memories that make summer, summer. Like catching a road game in a RAV4. I got it! I got it! I got it! Or cruising in a Camry to enjoy some ice cream by the beach. Before getting attacked by a flock of hungry seagulls.
It's yours! Take it! Take it! Toyota. Let's go places. Event ends May 31st. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary.
Calling all Portland soccer fans. TikTok is bringing you closer to the game than ever before with unmatched access to the Timbers and Thorns. Join Portland's premier soccer clubs as they share content exclusive to TikTok from the sidelines, in the locker room, and at home. There's no better place for PTFC fans to connect with their favorite clubs and players.
Spectacular goal! They're up 2-1!
Because after the game ends, the real fun starts on TikTok, the official sponsor of the Portland Timbers and Portland Thorns.
It's game day at Providence Park. Fuel up with a gourmet sausage or classic frank from Zenner's Sausage Company. Found at concession stands throughout Providence Park. Zenner's has been producing gourmet sausages in Portland since 1927, and they've always been naturally smoked, small batch, and handcrafted with quality ingredients. You can find Zenner's craft sausages at local retailers such as Market of Choice, Safeway Albertsons, Stadium Fred Meyers, QFC, and many restaurants around town. Find out more at Zenners.com.
around the PK.
Adds another starter potentially to the list. We don't have any further information at this point, but just looking at it, we've all watched enough soccer to know that that's not how ankles are supposed to go, and that probably does not bode well for Jesus Jimenez.
No, and it doesn't give Dallas a lot of confidence because he's supposed to be the striker that came in to give Jesus Ferreira a second option, a little bit of a challenge. He's a veteran. He had 9 goals for Toronto last year. He has definitely not gotten off the mark like I think a lot of people would have hoped. Now he's been dealing with injury issues. Had the broken hand, which I think is affecting him more than we've probably discussed, although this ankle roll did not look good. They do have options. The thing is that Dallas's options, with the exception of Jesus Martinez and Jimmy Maurer, are pretty much on the youthful side of things. Sam Junka is probably the most experienced guy on the bench of the others. Mulatto would be more, if you wanted to do like for like, probably the most natural replacement. Endley or Kamungo are 2 winger options. They could move some pieces around. They could bring Nolan Norris in the midfield. Well, Steve, right now, none of them jump off the pages. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you do this.
Well, look, when we have starters out, you've got reserves that are playing the starting roles, and that reduces the effectiveness of what you're able to bring off the bench. We do know that Bernie Kamungo can bring some energy depending on how, when they want to maybe bring him in. I just think that they're going to have to replace Jesus Jimenez. Who knows? Maybe he can. They can tape that ankle up a little bit. He can go a little bit longer. There might also be some kind of tactical change. If not, you can just go straight up Mulatto for Jesus Jimenez and make the like for like. That might be something they can do because right now I think Jimenez actually got enough touches. I think so did Jesus Ferreira, and I think Velasco was actually connecting some plays. It was O'Brien who was sort of out of sorts a little bit today, only 13 touches. And not really managing to do much with those.
And speaking of Javier O'Brien, he picks up a yellow card in the waning moments of the first half. And while that's not, it's a little bit of a problem for this match. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful. But that's a big problem for next week because Dallas will go to Austin in 10 days. He will not be available, and that's going to put a strain on a team that now may be looking at some time without Jesus Jimenez. Hopefully that's not the case, but it doesn't super look good, right, with the information we have. And that just means you're going to go to a rival stadium. You're going to come off some rest at least. But, man, not having O'Brien, who for about the last month, maybe even 6 weeks, has been your second best offensive player, that's just, when it rains, it pours for Dallas.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one. A very, very unfortunate play for O'Brien, who took a yellow card for grabbing Dairon Asprilla on a counter rush down the right side when he had Marco Farfan back, and Asprilla was by no means free and clear. It's not as though, of course, nowhere near a dog so, but he just didn't have to do it. Asprilla made a heavy touch. He's not going to win the ball. It looked like Tafari was going to get there, if not Farfan. And just keep your hands down because there's no reason to even let the referee make that decision. I don't have any problem with Uncle giving that yellow card. I think Asprilla went down very softly, but it's because O'Brien put his hand right on about the outside of the elbow of the Portland winger, and he put himself in a horrible position when he didn't have to.
Yeah, he spun him a little bit. They were tussling, going for the ball as Asprilla went down the right wing. I think O'Brien just had a little moment of frustration. He's an emotional player. We know that. At that time, he let the emotions get the best of him because I think as Asprilla lost that ball, you're right, Farfan or Tafari, either one of them was going to collect the ball. I think Asprilla understood that he wasn't going to get to it, so as soon as O'Brien sort of wanted to give him a little bit more right at the end, it gave him the opportunity to go down, and O'Brien picks up the yellow card.
As we have a couple minutes left here on the halftime show, two players on opposite ends of the spectrum. Martin Paz has 3 saves, though he probably in reality has more like 5 or 6, but offsides and other issues have negated what it says on the stat sheet. On the other end of the spectrum, performance-wise, Giovanni Jesus, not a half for him to remember. He has had some turnover problems. He's had some positioning problems. He has seen the turf quite a bit. They just laid down the new turf out here at FC Dallas, but he has laid down on the turf quite a bit himself this evening. And it's good that Martin Paz has been on his game because this could easily be 2 or 3. But if Jesus would play a little bit better, maybe Martin Paz wouldn't have to work as hard.
Well, they're missing Ima Tuamasi's defensive abilities and ability to hang on to the ball. Those are 2 things that Jesus needs to work on. He has speed, he has athleticism, he has aerial prowess, he has the best looking service from the right side when he hits it. But the other things that, again, he's a young player. I don't think all is lost with the 21-year-old Brazilian, but I do think that he has a lot to grow in that position, and having Tuamasi out means that there's really no natural competition for his spot right now.
Well, remember that he wasn't starting initially, and I think that was really smart from Nicolas Tevez. I think Nicolas Tevez, of course, watching all the practices, understood that he wasn't quite ready for that, so he brings him in a few matches where he needs to just attack, doesn't necessarily need to defend, but then he starts him in a couple of matches, and I really felt like he was learning the position, learning how to defend, learning how to deal with different situations. Then the injury, and as he's come back from the injury, I think we've seen a little bit of regression, which, again, is what you would sort of expect from a young player. But I just think he needs to understand game management just a little bit better, when to just play through something, when to just play, and as we said a while ago, just stop looking for the fouls.
Dallas has 10 points this season from negative positions. If they want points, be it 1 or 3 tonight, they will have to do it again. Dallas is the best in the league at getting points from losing positions, which is fortunate and unfortunate at the same time, but that is the position that they are in. We'll take a break here as the halftime show comes to an end. When we come back, it's the second half of action. I want to Steve will bring you the final 45 between FC Dallas and Portland Timbers. Portland leads 1-0 after the first half. This is FC Dallas Soccer presented by Toyota on the FC Dallas app, Talk Radio 1190, and the iHeartRadio app.
Every day, Children's Health is pushing the boundaries of incredible care for kids. With groundbreaking research, innovative medical technology, and an award-winning team, Children's Health pushes for more cutting-edge treatments every day. Our relentless care teams work tirelessly to give kids the care they need for the future they deserve. Together, we're providing more incredible care for kids across Dallas, Plano, and beyond.
When it comes to preparation, refueling the body, and recovery, AdvoCare Rehydrate is redefining rehydration. With vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and electrolytes, AdvoCare Rehydrate can help keep you hydrated during workouts, delay the fatigue, and support recovery to get you back out there faster. That's why AdvoCare Rehydrate is the official sports drink of Major League Soccer. Shop and learn more today at advocare.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, Jan from Toyota speaking.
Jan, I heard it's a good time to buy a Toyota.
Sure is. From now until April 4th, you can shop all your favorites like Corolla, RAV4, Sequoia, and more. Imagine yourself in a new Tundra where
you stopped by the home improvement store and finally built that tree house you promised your daughter.
Sarah? When did you hop on the call?
Hi, Dad. Mom said you were taking too long on the phone.
Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary.
Tonight's match is sponsored by Toyota.
And welcome back, everybody, to tonight's broadcast of FC Dallas After Dark, so to speak. It's the FCD second half about to get underway, and we have a substitution. Owen Newkirk alongside Steve Davis. 1-0 Portland, and Sam Junca is coming in for the what appears to be injured Jesus Jimenez at halftime. Steve, I would imagine the thought there is that Junca can play wide and they can move a guy like Velasco more centrally if they want to have somebody in that sort of either off striker or number 10 position.
Yeah, I think so. The teams are lining up right now, so they'll break that little huddle in a second here. We'll be able to figure it out.
Aside from the tactics, wait and see for a minute. But what do you want to see from Dallas in the second half of a game that feels like, although they haven't played their best, there's still something in it for them?
Well, I think what Nico Estevez told us about the game plan tonight, I think it's a good one, but they've got to execute just a little bit better. They've got to close up those gaps on the defensive side, and then once they get the ball, they can be patient in possession. Although they're gonna have to be a little bit less patient now that they're chasing the game. You can be patient in possession, but you still have to be sharp and move the ball and not get caught with it like that because, again, Portland in transition is very, very dangerous.
So officially in the 46th minute, Jimenez out, Junca in, and that will not count as one of Dallas's substitution windows, but one of their 5 subs. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Sam Junca in a left midfield position, or
yeah, that's where he's lined up.
Even in more of like a left-sided 8 in a way. Depends on how they defend. Right now, it's a throw-in off of the start of the second half because the kickoff went out of play. Cerrillo chests it down. Moreno pressuring. Quignon loses the ball. Evander, little tug from Cerrillo, goes down. That's going to be a free kick, and that'll be a yellow card for Cerrillo. Not a warning. Wow. Quick trigger for Ted Unkel. We said he does like to hand out yellow cards, and just 1 minute into the second half, officially it'll be the 47th minute, yellow card on Cerrillo, who is just getting back from a suspension, and that is his 6th now of the season.
Yeah, he's really got a hold of Evander there as Evander's getting into the final third. It's something I've noticed this year. There really seems to be a point of emphasis. I haven't heard it stated, but point of emphasis on those fouls that happen in the attacking third where they're showing the yellow card pretty quick right now.
Well, it's a pretty advanced position. I would say probably 30 yards or so, give or take.
2-man wall, huh? That's
Martin Poss is calling for a long distance shot. They never took it. They tried to go short. It was blocked. Good job by Sam Junca there. And it will go out for a throw in. Nico Estevez gets a touch. Said he had a couple of assists in a match they played. The coaches played a scrimmage against the U.S. amputee national team at Toyota Stadium, I believe in the last week or so. And Nico said he didn't play that long, but a couple of assists out of it. So with that, we are back underway. David Bingham with the ball at his feet. Portland has the lead.
I've done it myself, Fletch, back in my days. You come up and you hobble a little bit yourself, right? Like, oh, that really hurt me. Please don't give me a second yellow card. I took most of the punishment there, but...
As here's a ball floated in towards Zach McGraw. McGraw goes back across, but it can't keep it in play. Oh, Evander did well to find McGraw at the back post. McGraw got a foot to it. I don't know if he didn't think that he could put something on frame, so he just popped it in the air back across goal, but did not stay in play. Almost felt like it went off his knee or his thigh.
It did. I mean, I don't want to be too hard on the center back all the way up there, so far up the field. He's probably got a bloody nose, but that was a little clumsy. At first, I thought maybe he didn't see it until late, but I think he got a decent look at it. It just was dropping out of the sky. Difficult play at that post.
McGraw able to win the restart and gets it out wide on the near side to Dairon Asprilla. Asprilla has it taken away by Junqua, though. Cerrillo finds Velasco. Hounded by Paredes. Paredes pokes it away. Asprilla couldn't change his direction quickly enough. Otherwise, he would have been able to pick that one up. Instead, it ends up at the feet of Marco Farfan. 50th minute as we're just underway here in the second half with the Timbers leading Dallas 1-0. Ball over the top looking for Ferreira. Ferreira looked like it bounced off his left elbow. He'll collect it. No whistle from Ted Uncle. He was in an onside position as well. Timbers did well to not allow Ferreira to do anything other than play it backwards. Here's Ferreira with it again. He'll go central, looking for an overlapping run, and then Obrion tries to get there in front of Bingham, cannot do so as Bingham collects.
Well read by Bingham, came out. Good technique on the slide. That is the first time. It took 50 minutes, Fletcher, for Ferreira to receive a ball in behind Portland's defense.
A little 1-2 between Moreno and Paredes does not come off, but Dallas gives it right back. Ferreira basically passing it to Miller. We mentioned Dallas dangerous when they trail or give up the first goal. They are 3-5-1 when allowing the first goal. That is the most points outside of Philadelphia when coming from a losing position. So Dallas is a team that you have to really work to put away. Though, as we mentioned, they are without some of their big guns in Paul Arriola, Sebastian Lletget, among others. Here's Giovanni Jesus dribbling it down this far side. Goes off the back of McGraw and then knocked away by Diego Chara, only as far as Velasco, 35 yards from goal. Velasco dribbling central, gets around Paredes, then poked away by Diego Chara. Velasco will pick it up, though, and pass it back to Tafari in the center circle. Kosi Tafari, the Manhattan, New York native, went to Seattle University. So of Ethiopian descent, and certainly playing a big role for Dallas in their defense, making his 13th start of the season here tonight. Velasco loses out, and now the Timbers come the other way. Here's Bully in a foot race with Tafari. Bully gets around Tafari. He's dribbling into the box, puts a cross over. Moreno able to get something on it, but then Paz collects in front of Moreno.
Gosh, I wonder if Frank Bully goes to ground there, if he doesn't end up getting a kick from the spot for the Timbers. Tafari went in once, went in twice. Now, I just kind of lost his footing now that I see the replay, but that's not easy to get around Tafari on the dribble like that. And Paz alert and off of his line for Dallas.
Moreno did well to get something on that just to keep it away from Paz momentarily. As now McGraw and Obrion going back and forth. And then a foul called on Obrion by that far side official, Ryan Graves. Obrion incensed, feeling like, if anything, that was just shoulder-to-shoulder challenge against McGraw, but he's whistled for the foul.
Now, Obrion got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning, is what happened. He's having one of those evenings. Irascible throughout this entire match. Now, the tempo has slowed down a little bit. You know, you'd expect that as we work our way into this second half here.
Bingham's restart. Tafari wins the header. Diego Chara wins the second header. Velasco then wins a header. Ball up in the air. And eventually Mosquera controls. Nico Estevez wanted a foul on Daron Asprilla. On Velasco, does not get it. And the Timbers turn it over. Here's Obrion looking over his options. Nutmegs Christian Paredes. That's about the only way you can get through Paredes. Paredes tucks a foot in, knocks it away from Velasco, who remains down behind the play. Gio Savarese signaling a dive to the fourth official. Timbers deciding whether or not to play on. They thought about passing it out for a moment, but then Velasco got up, and boy, what do you know? He's back to full health. Oh, here's a ball breaking a couple lines looking for Asprilla and Moreno. It's between the both of them and knocked away by Paz. Quinion and Ferreira. Little 1-2 to keep possession. Now Velasco back up to his feet, and he gets it out wide to Junqua, the halftime substitution.
The defensive pressure out of the Timbers. That's really what I'm taking away from the last 2 or 3 matches, Fletch. Dario Zupric comes flying out of that center back spot to not let Velasco turn. Velasco is so crowded by players he can't get through. He's trying to dive to get foul calls. Nico Estevez didn't even get out of his crouch. He knew his player was trying to buy the foul and that it wasn't one. But it's just the harrying. I mean, the Timbers unleashing the hounds here defensively.
As Asprilla knocks it off of Junqua, out for a Timbers throw. Yeah, you know, maybe in some senses as well. You mentioned Zupric coming out. He'll do that every once in a while, but breaking some tendencies as well, doing things that the opposing team isn't expecting or doesn't think you're going to be doing. And it definitely seems to have Dallas a bit off of their rhythm here through nearly an hour at Providence Park tonight. We talked to Gio midweek. His approach really to these Western Conference matches is to get no less than 3 points out of the two meetings. They got the point in Dallas. 3 points tonight would mean 4 of 6 taken from Dallas this year, and in his mind, that's a win, but still a long way to go, 35 minutes plus stoppage time to make that a reality. Here's Ferreira with it right on the center line.
He looks frustrated. He turns up. He doesn't see what he wants. Just settling for that drop pass. Ferreira now with his arms outstretched, communicating with Quignon as FC Dallas tries to build again.
Yeah, Diego Chara right on his shoulder, making sure that if they pass him the ball, he's going to have to deal with Diego.
And I think it's making the job for the Timbers easier, to be honest with you. Ferreira's a little just stationary in that midfield. He's right next to Diego Chara. Chara's last couple passes haven't been great, though.
Here's a deflected ball forward for the Timbers that's picked up by Ibiaga, the former LAFC man. Cerrillo to Quignon, who scored the goal for Dallas last time in the last meeting back April 1st of this year. He's had a quiet night as well there in the defensive midfield. Haven't called his name in the attack very much. They just are having trouble finding a way through, but starting to have plenty of the ball here as we approach the hour mark. Here's O'Brien, far side of the field, defended by Miller. He'll go back for Ibiaga, the center back, in a very advanced position. Now to Cerrillo. Timbers can turn over Dallas. Could be off to the races. Ibiaga comes back, though, into that position, and a bad ball forward from Tafari is a turnover, and here comes Portland. Here's Moreno leaving it for Bully. Bully defended by Tafari. Bully trying to get by, cannot do so, and then Tafari just knocks it long. It'll be picked up there by Mosquera. Back into the attacking third for Asprilla. Paredes down behind the play, and then Asprilla, not a great ball looking for Mosquera. Rolls across the end line. Goal kick Dallas, but more importantly, Paredes has remained down on the field, clutching that right ankle. And we'll have to see Stephanie Ludwig and Taichi Kitagawa come out to take a look at the Paraguayan midfielder.
Well, he's already on his feet. I think he'll be okay, but he got a knock for sure there. That last coming together. Dallas did well in the last passage of play to switch the field a couple times. They combined through Ferreira, and then Ferreira got forward, and that's when they started to look dangerous. But for me, who am I to tell Jesus Ferreira, MLS's leading goal scorer, one of them anyway, as many goals as the number on his shirt, 10 this year. But yeah, he's staying deep. He's staying deep, and he's content to make those short passes. I think maybe you trust your midfielders in Quignon and Cerrillo to work their way through and add a little more presence to the center of defense. I think it's been a pretty easy job for Zach and Dario tonight to this point. Kind of interesting the way O'Brien is setting up right now, Fletcher. He's 15 yards offside as FC Dallas starts to build.
Paredes lightly jogged off the field over to the far side, now waved back on. So the Timbers back at full strength moments after the restart. Yeah, and you think about the switching that Dallas did and what did it end up with? It ended up with a hopeful ball forward trying to break a line from Nkosi Tafari. That was easily deflected away by the Timbers, and they were off to the races. So they kept possession, but really ended up doing nothing with it in the long run. Here's O'Brien, make that another player. Velasco is dispossessed, and the Timbers get it out to Bully. Bully is going to get there in front of Tafari. Tafari just stands in his way. Advantage play to Asprilla, gets the ball out to Evander. Evander dribbling into the box. Marco Farfan there to defend. Takes a deflection. Protas is there. Shot is saved by Paz. Unreal save by Martin Paz. Should have been a second for the Timbers and Santiago Moreno. But Paz does it again.
2-0. That's got to be 2-0. Martin Paz. Wow. Third huge save of the night.
And here comes Dallas the other way. Ball forward looking for Ferreira, but Mosquera is there to collect. and he's able to work it around. Will it stay in? He's able to work it around Junqua. They're going to say that rolled all the way across the sideline. I do not agree with that from our vantage point, but it will end up being a throw-in for Dallas right in front of Gio Savarese.
Just watching the replay, Paz guessed that Moreno was going to his left. He got down as quickly as possible and just parried that wide. It's a good advantage call by Ted Uncle. It's definitely an obstruction on Tafari in midfield. He got caught upfield, and they found Bully in that left center channel.
Junqua gets around Mosquera into the box, leaves the ball top of the box for Velasco, who wasn't there. It was instead Paredes that was standing right there. Bully does well to keep that one in front of Quignon. And then Giovanni Jesus misses the clearance. Ball gets to Santiago Moreno, who finds Evander top of the box. First time shot with the left foot. Parried away by Paz directly back to Evander, but Quignon is there to collect in front of Evander. And now Ibeagha out central. McGraw, though, strong tackle on Obrian to give the Timbers the ball back. Obrian tracks back well, though, to win it back for Dallas. Now Ferreira out far side of the field. Back to Ibeagha. And Dallas able to build here out of the back. 60th minute, 61st minute now, with the Timbers leading 1-0. Out shooting their Texas visitors 7-2. Should be 2-0, if not for Martin Paz there moments ago.
That last save, a little more industrial, but Evander is just kind of pulling wide and getting in behind FC Dallas very easily. That back four is pretty spread in transition.
Well, and you look at how far advanced Jesus is over on that far side, really leaving Ibeagha with a ton of space to deal with. And Tafari has plenty of pace, but he's been put in some difficult situations as well. Quignon dispossessed by Diego Chara. Here's Evander now. Quignon and Evander going shoulder to shoulder, grabbing at each other, and then Evander fouls Quignon. Quickly taken by Dallas. Shot from Jesus from outside the box. Relatively easy stuff for David Bingham. His first save of the night. And throughout the season, Providence Sports Medicine wants to help you make the save. With every Timbers regular season home match save, Providence Sports Medicine will donate $250 to youth sports teams for life-saving AED equipment through the Saves for Lives program with Providence Heart Institute's Base Camp Prevention and Wellness. Zach McGraw sends it long. Ball in the center circle, and Dallas picks up possession. Still happy with where the Timbers are at in this one, as this ball over the top for Obrian, too much, and Bingham quickly off his line to collect.
No. At 1-0, I will answer that definitively. No. Timbers have got to go find the second, if not a third. And it's starting to even out a little bit, Fletch. Dallas has had as much of the ball as Portland. But I think as FD Dallas pushes forward, Timbers can catch him on the counter.
Here's Moreno, corner of the box, far side, gets around one man. Will take a deflected shot. Paz collects. That one I don't think was going to end up being on frame, but Paz was not going to take any chances. Timbers readying their first two substitutions. Yaroslav Niezgoda and Marvin Laria will come on at the next whistle. 64th minute. You'd have to imagine Boley and either Asprilla or Moreno coming off. Timbers 3 matches in 7 days coming up starting next week as they travel down to San Jose for their next match and then home Chicago on Wednesday and NYCFC in a rematch of the 2021 MLS Cup Final on the following Saturday.
Meanwhile, FC Dallas doesn't play for 10 days, and they got a pretty thin bench, so I don't think Nico is going to make too many changes here, especially now that they're starting to perk up a little bit. I've earned a corner.
Yeah, they've earned a corner here. First of the night for Dallas. It was Velasco that earned it under pressure in that far corner from Zach McGraw and Christian Paredes. Looks like Velasco to be the man to take. No, Ferreira's going to trot all the way over to send this ball into the box. As we are in the 65th minute of a 1-0 match in favor of Portland. Timbers out shooting Dallas 10-3. But Dallas with about 57% of the ball here this evening after it was one-way traffic for the first 20 to 25 minutes tonight in favor of Portland. Ferreira does have an option short. That's Marco Farfan. He instead will curl one in looking near post. Miller wins it. It's back out for another corner kick. Early in the year, Timbers had some struggles, set piece opportunities for their opponents. They've shored up a lot of that here as of late, as Ted Uncle will blow his whistle, wants to have a conversation with Mosquera and Junqua. Here's the whistle blown, and Ferreira a chance to send it in again. Things getting really physical in there. As O'Brien goes down, Quignon goes down. And then Moreno and O'Brien will have a talking to with Ted Uncle.
Paredes got a little piggyback ride there from Quignon for a second. He kind of made a rounding run from the backside. Paredes tried to chase him, and then Quignon backed in, and Paredes climbed over the top, and now they're shoving each other.
So it's a man-to-man marking system here for Portland, and a bad free kick by Jesus Ferreira is easily cleared away by Miller, and now we have some players going chest to chest. Diego Chara is down on the ground. Christian Paredes goes down. And we're going to have some stuff to sort out here. Ted Uncle. And now Juan David Mosquera getting into it with a Dallas player. He has to be pulled back by Zach McGraw. And I think we're going to see a red card from Ted Uncle. A red card is going to be shown. Is that O'Brien? No, it's Giovanni Jesus. Giovanni Jesus has been sent off by Ted Uncle.
And he's also got his finger to his ear, so he's going to make sure these are reviewable. This is a red card offense, according to Ted Uncle. I can tell you what happened, Fletch. The ball was cleared, it was gone, and Giovanni Jesus and Diego Chara were tangling right at the top of the six. Chara went to ground, and it looked like Jesus kicked him while he was on the ground. I don't know what precipitated that. I will say that Mosquera's got to keep a cooler head. He cannot join that fray and two-hand shove anybody. He could be susceptible to a red card here as well.
Our VAR tonight is Kevin Terry Jr. He's assisted by Eric Weisbrod. Have to imagine that this will be reviewed. That's what Gio Savarese is saying. Exactly your point, Keith, that Giovanni Jesus kicked Diego Chara when he was on the ground. So Jesus is off the field at the moment. He's standing right in front of the Timbers technical area.
He wants to get back on so bad.
And Nico Estevez is telling him, hey, calm down, go ahead, walk off the field. No sense in getting all uptight about this. And then now Sebastian Blanco and Giovanni Jesus getting into it a little bit. Giovanni Jesus, the 21-year-old Brazilian, in his first MLS season after coming over from Cruzeiro. Ted Uncle with his finger to his ear. We are going to go to the monitor and take a look. It's the second time he's gone to the monitor tonight. The first was after he called a penalty kick that was overruled by Kevin Terry Jr. within the first 5 minutes.
I'm going to give you a couple of things here, Fletch. Number one, he could be reviewing what Jesus did. He could also be looking at what happened after. If there's an additional red card out there, the behavior of Mosquera. O'Brien has come over and gotten into a shouting match with Sebastian Blanco. You know Seba's going to get himself into it. He doesn't even have to be on the field. In fact, he could be walking downtown, and if there's something popping off, he's going to put himself into this. Jesus has gone to the locker room. Be interesting to have to pull him out from underneath the stands.
And that's what O'Brien was getting upset about right in front of Blanco, as he was telling him to come back out on the field. Oh, yeah, he tried to stomp on him after Diego Chara was down.
I don't know, Fletch. It almost looked like it was one of those where the laces got into each other. I've been there before. You can get laces tied up in two boots. I didn't see a real kick out there. I do think Chara was obviously on the ground, and Jesus was trying to separate himself. Violent conduct? I don't know. It's one of those where you kind of just the get off me's is what I would call it. And Uncle's taking a long look here, Fletch. Really interesting.
Well, and if he's looking at the monitor, this means to overturn the call, correct? It has to be a clear and obvious error, right? And we're going to get the call from Uncle. After video review, Jesus is welcomed back on the field. He has a word for the Timbers bench as he trots back on. And Gio Savarese having a word with the Force official, Brandon Stevis. He is upset that Jesus is being allowed back on the field, especially after the interactions he had with the substitutes on the bench, and then what O'Brien was saying to the Timber substitutes as well.
Well, that could be worthy of a yellow card. That's called dissent. You go in the book. I don't know if I've ever seen this, Fletch. Seen a lot of Timbers matches, and I have never seen a player sent off, dismissed, put into the locker room. He went through the door down there into the hallway and is called back. Now, Chara is going to get a yellow card as well. That's what I saw. I saw two players coming together, kind of getting frustrated with each other, leaning on each other. Chara was on the ground. He was kind of putting his knees up. Jesus was hanging around a little too long, but I don't see a red card. I actually think through all of that, they got it right.
So after all that, we're going to see a pair of substitutions for the Timbers. Frank Bully, his goal has the Timbers out in front currently, is going to come off, with Yaroslav Niezgoda coming on in his place, and Santiago Moreno's night is done, as Marvin Loria will make his 104th appearance for the Portland Timbers.
I also, I understand Gio's point. I mean, there was too much going down there by his bench. But Sebastian Blanco, and I think it was Nathan Vagasha, they kind of inserted themselves into it a little bit. And unfortunately, Jesus had to walk right in between the Timbers bench and the boards, right where the reserves are warming up. And I think the Timbers probably should have left him alone to his own devices as he walked into the hallway there. It'll make the final 20 minutes pretty spicy, Fletch. This should be good.
Fourth yellow card of the season for Diego Chara. And now we've seen 5 cautions shown, 3 to Dallas, 2 to the Timbers. All right, after all that, we're back underway. Jesus sends a ball in, no one there, and Mosquera will easily collect and be able to dribble out of his own box. Junqua over to defend, and Mosquera didn't touch it. He actually just let it run out to touch. Over in front of the Timber substitutes here on the near side down to our left. Timbers turn it over. Now here's Junqua dribbling down towards the end line. Early cross in. Eric Miller has to be there in front of Velasco to just send it out to touch here on the near side.
Really good service. Low and hard from Junqua. Almost got through.
It's one of those interesting kind of passages here over the next couple minutes after a long delay like that. Are the minds mentally switched on? You can see teams kind of give up cheap goals here in this stretch as Asprilla rises to win the header. Niezgoda tries to keep it in play, cannot do so. And Farfan will take the throw in for Dallas in front of his manager, Nico Estevez. 73rd minute now. Timbers up 1-0. Imagine we picked up about 4 minutes of stoppage time there just with that review and everything else that went along with it.
Yeah, more than that, maybe.
Here's Niezgoda trying to do some yeoman's work and keep this one down in the attacking third. Asprilla collects in front of Quignon, and then it goes out off Asprilla for a Dallas throw-in. Wild last couple minutes here at Providence Park. Dallas continuing to grow more and more into this match. Edging possession numbers up to almost 60% for the visitors. Here's Tafari. Picks out Ferreira. Ferreira, bad back pass. Gets lucky. It'll pick out Tafari instead of a couple Timbers players that were there and ready. Evander leaves for Paredes. And now Quignon slides back to collect in front of Niezgoda. Here's Cerrillo. Cerrillo has tons of space in front of him. Diego Chara will come over to shut down that space, force a pass to Velasco. Velasco misplays it, lets it roll under him, and Miller picks it up, gets it back to Bingham. Bingham has to get that one out quick. And then Asprilla cannot rise to win a header in front of Farfan, and Tafari will pick it up. Enter the 76 halftime kick sweepstakes, and you can win 4 tickets to a Portland Timbers game. The chance to score goals on the field at halftime and $760 in fuel. Go to timbers.com/76 to enter. Here's Obrian, finds Ferreira 30 yards from goal. Ferreira's pass blocked by Paredes out to Farfan. Now to Junqua. Junqua defended by Mosquera. Used the overlapping run from Farfan. Aspria back to defend. Farfan sends a cross in way over the top of everybody. It's touched by Luria and collected right on that end line. And then it goes off the back of Jesus, and it will be a throw-in for Portland on that far side, not more than 5 yards from that far corner flag.
Nifty little reverse pass to the outside of the boot by Junqua. We weren't sure where he would play. He's done pretty well on the left side of this FC Dallas attack. Again, no changes for Nico Estevez. They got 10 days to recover.
He's going to roll with who he put out there in the starting 11, at least for the foreseeable future. Jesus takes the throw-in off his chest, cannot do anything with it. And then the ball eventually works its way back to Tafari inside Dallas's defensive half. He'll go all the way back to Paz, who has played well tonight. Really the only reason his team is still in this match. Come up with a couple big saves to keep Portland from a couple more goals. It's really a big stretch for the Timbers, Keith. I think, as we look at the fact we're at the midway point of the season, you have a big stretch, 5 matches after this, as Velasco's in an offside position as that pass came forward to him. Need to find a way over these next 6 matches to get somewhere, probably between 10 and 13 points to feel a little bit better heading into Leagues Cup and the break for a month that'll take place before the final 12 matches of the season.
You definitely want to be above that line before the Leagues Cup break. Good news is Timbers get 3 points tonight. They'll pull up even with a few sides, and I believe on goal differential would push up above the line and into 9th place. But it's pretty simple. As Farfan and Aspria rise, both goes through both of those players and over the byline for FC Dallas goal kick. It's pretty simple. 3 points at home, steal 1 or 2 points on the road for the final matches, and you'll be there.
Yeah, Timbers would jump up into 8th place if this result were to hold. Tied on points with Kansas City, Minnesota, and Salt Lake. But with the goal differential tiebreaker, as you mentioned, goal differential tiebreaker, Timbers -4, everybody worse than that,
right?
that they're tied with.
It's pretty good for a night's work to jump 4 spots if you can pull it off, but man, it's hard. These victories against FC Dallas are hard-earned.
Wow, Diego Chara, maybe a bit lucky there. His heavy touch backwards. He tried to collect before it turned into a corner kick, and that far side official, Ryan Graves, deemed that Velasco fouled Diego Chara, so David Bingham will have a chance to restart this one instead of it being a corner kick for FC Dallas. As Giovanni Savarese patrols his technical area, arms folded. He was pretty animated after Ted Unkel overturned the red card that he gave out to Giovanni Jesus. As this long restart, Ibiaga able to get a foot to it. Ball up in the air near the top of the half circle. Header won by Junqua, gets it to Cerrillo. Cerrillo defended by 2 and dispossessed by Christian Paredes. Now here's Evander dribbling into the box. Chance to put a cross in. It's deflected away. Evander will collect in front of Ibiaga. Ibiaga, strong pressure. Evander does well to shield and keep it for Portland. Now to Marvin Luria. Marvin Luria goes central to Paredes. Now over the top for Niazgoda. Niazgoda's first touch. He was trying to put that on frame. It was from a really tight angle, and it'll end up actually rolling all the way across this near touchline for a throw-in for Dallas.
Cheeky little outside of the boot. Floated pass over the top. Dallas switched off. Niazgoda made a hard run from inside out to get on that, but it was always going to be a difficult angle.
That turnover here by Dallas once again. Here's Luria on his favorite left foot. Shoots and just wide. Dallas has had problems getting out of their defensive third all night long, and Luria nearly made him pay there.
It's because of the high pressure from the Portland Timbers. Christian Paredes sets up almost like a third forward as Dallas tries to build.
Ibiaga, line-breaking pass to Ferreira. It's picked off by Diego Chara. He was looking for Cerrillo. It's kind of a lazy pass from Ferreira. Just thought there wouldn't be any pressure there, and Diego Chara took it right away.
Yeah, he's had a poor night, Jesus Ferreira. He's starting to run over the shoulder of the last Timbers defender. He's looking for through balls now late in this match, trailing by a goal. But, yeah, it's been a little casual with some of his passing tonight.
And we're about to get into the most dynamic stretch of matches for Jesus Ferreira this season, and that is the final 10 minutes. He has 4 of his 10 goals coming in the final 10 minutes, with 3 of those 4 being match winners.
That's the thing, right? All it takes is 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds for Ferreira to equalize this and break Timbers' hearts.
Here's Cerrillo, 40 yards from goal. Pressured by Niezgoda, goes back to Junqua, who goes further back to Farai. 81st minute, Timbers leading 1-0. Timbers starting to absorb a little bit more pressure here as Quignon loses out to Paredes, who does well to win it back for Portland. Here's Loria. Loria looks over the top for Niezgoda. This one's going to go kind of over his outside shoulder, though. Niezgoda able to get it, collect it, get it back to Asprilla. Asprilla then wins a throw-in as that ball went out off Junqua. And we're going to see a couple substitutions here from Dallas. Don't know if they'll come at this dead ball. Yes, they will. So Herbert Endely will come on forward. Will take the place of Giovanni Jesus. So after he thought he was leaving due to violent conduct red card, he is back on and now off the field. And then the other substitution is Cerrillo off and Mulatto on. So Cerrillo done and Jesus done, and this certainly more of a go-get-this-match move from Nico Estevez.
Those 2 men that they just brought on have a combined 6 matches of Major League Soccer experience. So we'll see what they have here. And again, we're going to have 6, 7, I wouldn't be surprised to see 8 added minutes after the overturned red card on Jesus.
Here's Ferreira with it 45 yards from goal, tries to curl one in, looking for Obrion back post, and Bingham easily collects. Obrion wanted that ball further to the back post. It really curled more near post, which made it easy for David Bingham. He's had a quiet night. Only 1 save for David Bingham this evening, and it was easy stuff for him. Hasn't been asked to do very much, as Dallas has just 3 shots through 83 minutes. Still only trailing by a goal, though. Oh, Niezgoda nearly picked off that pass from Paz for Tafari. Portland's pressure high, forcing problems for Dallas once again. Paredes wins a header. It's out to touch here on the near side, though. Dallas quickly throws it in. Ferreira goes back for Farfan. Now to Quignon. Quignon just punts one forward, and Zuprich is there. Vanders had a quiet second half. Tries to get on the end of that. Then Asprilla able to keep it in play, does well. Junqua and Mosquera raising high boots to try and collect. And then a bad turnover from Ferreira once again. Niezgoda will shoot. It's spilled by Paz, but the shot came from about 25 yards away, and no one was able to rush Paz to try and get a shot on target again.
Again, sloppy by Ferreira. Paz is an interesting goalkeeper because we've seen his quality and his ability to make top-shelf saves, but he's also been good for a howler or two, and he nearly coughed that one up. It was a pretty tame attempt by Niezgoda from distance.
Quignon fouls Paredes. Start to get into that stretch of the match where Portland happy to take a few extra seconds on these restarts as we're about to cross into the 85th minute with the Timbers leading 1-0. It's amazing if this result holds. The Timbers just 6 points out of third place. Here's the restart looking for Loria. Will he track it down before it goes across the end line? No, man. It was maybe just a half step too far for him to control in front of Ibiaga. Timbers up to 14 shots now. 7 of which have been on target. Here's Mulata making Enderle able to pick up possession, but he's somewhat lazy on the ball, and McGraw takes it away from him. Now to Evander. Evander central for Paredes. Paredes has options. He's got Miller out to the left. Niezgoda forward. The pass forward for Niezgoda, too much on it. And Tafari uses his pace to outrace Niezgoda and get to the ball first. Long ball forward from Dallas is picked up by Portland and easily collected. Not sure what Luria was trying to do there, but it ended up working out in his favor. No, offside flag was up on Niezgoda. Niezgoda felt like Farfan touched it, so it shouldn't matter if he came from an offside position. But the flag still came up from Corey Rockwell, the near side official.
If it's a deflection, no. If it's an intentional touch on the ball, yes.
That certainly looked like an intentional touch on the ball to me.
Yeah.
Here's Quinones spraying it out wide to Enderle. Enderle, the 21-year-old from Blaine, Minnesota, in his first year with Dallas.
He's got to do more there, though. He's been put in to drive at a very tired back four. He goes negative. He's got speed to burn. Former Indiana Hoosier, Enderle.
Timbers pushing their line of confrontation forward as Dallas goes backward. Here's a big ball forward from Dallas. Timbers win it. Cannot keep it, though, as Farfan able to get there first, though he loses out. And now the Timbers come the other way. Great ball by Paredes to find Mosquera down this near side. Early ball in from Mosquera will find Luria. Took a deflection off of Enderle. Luria will chip one in, looking for Asprilla, who was in an offside position. Didn't keep it down anyways. But, man, Mosquera there. A little too early with that cross coming in there. The numbers, the reinforcements were coming, Keith, but he decided to hit it first time.
Well, I will always be a proponent of taking as much space as you can, getting as deep as you can, because, first of all, that gives the ability to pull the cross away from the goalkeeper. He can do nothing about it, and that adds 1 or 2 players to the box. You've got a couple more targets there. You know who created that right there from midfield with 2 sublime passes? Christian Paredes.
He has been exquisite tonight for the Timbers and really all season long. Paredes making his 8th start of the season and 13th appearance.
I wonder where this Paredes was for a few years. And, I think it's fair to just say he's maturing. He's becoming the player the Timbers thought they might eventually get.
And that's a feather in the cap of Gio Savarese and his staff for developing Paredes into this player over the last couple of years as he shields away Junqua and earns possession for Portland once again. Here's Evander with it. Ibiaga taps it away. Now Evander will shield and let it run out for a Timbers throw on the far side, 88th minute. And a Timbers throw in coming, far side of the field.
You know who could not be happier for Paredes is Diego Chara, because he's got a lieutenant now. And, here we are, 88th minute. And he's sprinting back, getting into zone 5, if you will, at the top of your own box, winning a ball and making a first pass.
So Eric Miller turns it over at midfield. It goes out to touch off of him. Yeah, Paredes really playing well, earning that role, and it's important, too, given the midfield injuries that the Timbers have had, as Paredes will send a ball forward and pick out Asprilla this time, corner of the box near side. Early ball in. No one there other than Niezgoda. It'll be picked up by Enderle.
FC Dallas has made an interesting tweak here in the dying minutes. Kosi Tafari has come up to play center forward to finish this match.
Here's Niezgoda, top of the box. Luria. Back to Miller. Now to Diego Chara. Chara looking over his options. Will look central for Niezgoda. Niezgoda does well to keep it. And Luria under some pressure. Miller and O'Brien go down, and Timbers earn a throw-in. And we're going to see a substitution here momentarily. Will it come right now? Yes, indeed it will, and it will be Sebastian Blanco making his 3rd appearance during the MLS regular season, coming on for Evander, who had the assist tonight on the bully goal late on in the first half. So Evander off and Sebastian Blanco on. Your thoughts on Evander tonight?
Fantastic chip of a pass. Really good assist on the match's only goal to this point. I liked his movement in moving from inside to out. He got behind FC Dallas on their right side a few times, made it look easy. Didn't think he was at his very best, but he created the moment so far of the match.
Dario Zuparic knocks it out to touch on the far side as Tafari won the first header. Good tracking back by Zuparic to make sure that turned into nothing. We've reached the 90 minutes.
Really interesting, Fletch. Tafari is now a center forward. Look where Jesus Ferreira is playing right now. He's been pushed to left back.
Not something you'd expect to see from the leader in the Golden Boot race. As ball over the top will find Alan Velasco at the back post. Mosquera goes down. Velasco will send the cross in and really kind of a shot, but then Ted Uncle blows his whistle right away. Mosquera down in a bit of pain holding that left lower leg, and he seems to be in some serious pain here.
Yeah, I don't think he's pulling any of the dark arts right here. He is slamming his hand on the turf. He is in some significant pain. So 7 added minutes? 7 added minutes according to the scoreboard here on the south side of the stadium.
Yep. Play 7 added minutes, probably 9, depending on how long it takes Mosquera to get up to his feet. It's important as well because Mosquera is set to leave to join the Colombian national team here after this match, was going to likely miss all 3 matches next week, at the very least 2. San Jose next Saturday, and then the midweek match back here at Providence Park against Chicago. So you certainly hope this injury isn't too bad for him and his opportunity to play with the Colombian national team.
Exactly. That's probably why he's slamming his hand on the turf in such frustration. Bad timing for Mosquera. I missed it. I didn't see the contact or what led to that moment. Well, you're the Timbers now. You got to manage this, especially if you've got to pull Mosquera off.
He took his shoe off. Now he's putting it back on.
I mean, the obvious substitution would be to put Justin Rasmussen on. Have him put a shift in as the right back. Might even put Rasmussen over to left and pull Miller across. Mosquera is favoring that left foot and walking off on his own power. It doesn't necessarily mean he's coming back into the match. Our man Liam Ridgewell, is the most concerned. He's got to sort out the shape in the back, at least for the time being. And Mosquera's jogging it off, so that's good.
Looks like he will be all right, as the Timbers not calling for any substitutes at the moment. I think that Gio Savarese wants to bring Larius Mabiola on here if he can at some point in second half stoppage time. And yes, indeed, it's going to be Mabiola at some point, as Gio Savarese is giving him some instructions, though he still has the bib on as a substitute. We're back underway. Dario Zuparic wins a header against Tafari. Blanco just out of his reach, that pass in the center circle, and Farfan tracks back to get it to pause.
Yeah, I wonder what Jesus Ferreira feels about playing left back in a 1-0 match in added time. I don't know if FC Dallas has done that to this point in the season. Just really.
And what Nico Estevez is saying by putting him in that position, right? I mean, Ferreira has not been good tonight. That in and of itself is pretty clear for anyone who's watched this match. So Mosquera will jog over to take this throw-in that was earned by Dairon Asprilla.
This is when the ankle starts to hurt just a little bit more, just for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, just got to jog a little slower.
Kind of hard to get to that ball.
Here's Asprilla shielding Junqua down in the corner. Junqua knocks it out, and it's another throw-in for the Timbers. We've played about 4 minutes of the added 7 here at the end of the second half, though there was about a 1.5 to 2 minute long stoppage, so I would imagine we'll go to 99 or somewhere around there. Again, at the discretion of Ted Uncle. Here's Mosquera, defended by Ferreira. Help comes from Quignon. It's out off of Mosquera for a Dallas throw. Ferreira is going to take it, but not before the Timbers use their final substitution window to bring on Larry Smabiola in place of Dairon Asprilla. So Asprilla off, Larry Smabiola on. And Asprilla running hard for 90 plus tonight. Doesn't get a goal, but put in a shift to help his team try and earn 3 points as they inch closer to that with just a few minutes remaining. Mosquera tries to chip it over Ferreira for Loria. Goes out. And the Timbers will play with a 5-back, putting Larry Smabiola right in the middle.
Yeah, they got those two central forwards now, Tafari and Milano.
Here's Dallas trying to bring it forward. Enderle gets around Paredes. Paredes fouls Enderle. He'll probably be shown a yellow card here. Yes, indeed. So Paredes goes in the book, his second yellow card of the season. More importantly, restart for Dallas. These are the moments, Keith, that decide seasons.
You got it, and FC Dallas is good for it sometimes. In fact, Tafari has scored late goals in exactly this way for FC Dallas.
Timbers fans won't like to hear it. Timbers have allowed 12 result-changing goals since 2020 in Major League Soccer, which is the most of any team in the league. Paz asking Ferreira if he wants him to come forward. Ferreira says no as Paz stands in the center circle. Everybody forward within 25 yards of the goal for Dallas. Paz dribbling forward. Blanco finally comes, forces him to send the ball in. Quignon wins the header, takes down Dario Zuparic, though. And it'll be a restart for Portland. So good work by the Timbers to make sure that Dallas can do nothing with that.
Nobody on the Timbers wants to go anywhere near the ball right now. Ted Uncle is pointing to it. It's the round white thing sitting out there on the turf. We're at, almost 97 now, but you're right, Fletch. We're going to play at least two more, my estimation. Yeah, in fact, Eric Miller has just raised two fingers up. He asked Uncle. We're going to go two more.
Bad restart from Bingham. Directly to a Dallas player, though. Loria nearly does well. What a touch by Obrion to get it around Loria. But then Mulatto is dispossessed by Cristian Paredes, who just keeps doing good work. Farfan gets it back to Paz, who will send it long. Tafari was in an offside position. Ball didn't go anywhere near him, though. Mosquera wins it, gets it to Chiego Chara. Blanco can't control in front of Ferreira. And now here comes Jesus Ferreira. Dallas needs just one moment. Loria fouls Obrion unnecessarily.
That was a bad foul. If that comes back to haunt the Timbers, ay.
It'll be a yellow card for Loria.
The Timbers had collapsed. They had gotten compact. I think Loria could probably have gotten goal side on the player. Instead, you get a chance to put everybody in the box for FC Dallas. I'm surprised Martin Paz is not up there.
Still about a minute and 15 seconds left. Interesting that Dallas would take as long on this restart as they do, but Ted Uncle is saying that he needs to blow his whistle before the restart.
They're very spread.
Header by Ibiaga, saved momentarily, and then Quignon from a very tight angle was probably just trying to put it back across the box, could not do so. And it goes out for a Timbers goal kick.
That ball was going wide, but Bingham could take no chances. Not sure if he'll get a save for that, because has he even had one tonight? I think he's got one save. He had one save, and because that ball was off frame, he might not get credit for it, but he got down quickly, and there it is.
The full-time whistle from Ted Uncle, and the Timbers have picked up their fifth victory of the season, topping FC Dallas a win and a draw in the two meetings as Facundo Quignon barking at Ted Uncle, who walks away from him. But more importantly, the Timbers pick up the victory, their first in their last 5, They move to 5-7-5 on the season, 20 points up into 8th place. They jump 4 spots from 12th to 8th, where they started coming into today. And a big step towards being where they want to be when we hit the Leagues Cup break in mid-July. Keith, your thoughts on the performance tonight from Gio Savarese's team?
First half, fantastic. Really good goal. Deserved goal because of the pressure that they applied on FC Dallas. Peach of a pass, as I like to say. Clipped over the top by Evander. Strong run by Frank Bully. Believe in those two players. I think they're going to be a nice little pairing for the Timbers in the years to come, perhaps. A little more even in the second half. Shut down Jesus Ferreira to no end. I mean, the man ended up playing left back tonight. That's the kind of night that he had. Having said all of that, still just a tense 1-0 to the very end. The only way the Timbers beat FC Dallas at Providence Park is Portland 1, FC Dallas 0. But we said before, the only satisfactory result was a victory. They got it.
And the visiting side in this matchup has now won just twice in the last 28 meetings all time in the regular season. Frank Bully's 4th goal of the year gives the Timbers all 3 points, assisted by Evander, who celebrated a birthday earlier this week, and Diego Chara making his 350th start, just the first player to do that in Major League Soccer history with one team, the 9th to ever do it at all. And it's his 400th career appearance in a Timbers shirt across all competitions. The records just keep falling as Diego Chara continues to make his presence felt across the Rose City in this, his 13th season with the club. Dallas falls to 7-6-5, remain on 26 points. Timbers 5-7-5 on 20 points. Adam Sussman is here with the post-game show next, where we'll hear from Gio Savarese, and I would imagine Frank Bully as well. Timbers 1, FC Dallas 0. For Keith Blyer, I'm Fletcher Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Post-game show is next.
Portland Timbers Major League Soccer has been presented by Providence Sports Medicine. We make you better by any measure. This copyrighted audiocast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the expressed written consent of Major League Soccer.
How is your business navigating through the challenges that this global pandemic has produced? Are you looking forward to reconnecting? Gianna King Commercial Cleaning Services wants to partner with our community to help provide safe facilities for the return of your employees, customers, and students. Gianna King is your local solution to all of your cleaning and disinfecting needs. Trust the King of Clean like so many of your neighbors. Find us at giannaking.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Oregonians lead an active lifestyle. Hiking, running, riding your bike. Unfortunately, 80% of adults will develop back pain during their lifetime. At Providence, we want to make sure your spine health keeps you moving. Whether that's hitting the trails or playing a little soccer, we're here to keep your active lifestyle active. Learn how Providence Spine Center can get you back to doing what you love at providence.org/OR Spine Health.
Listen up, Timbers fans. Head into Safeway to save and score on great deals all season long. Safeway has everyone's home gating favorites, from fried chicken and party subs to fresh cut fruit and veggie trays, and tons of easy meal options. Satisfy your whole army for the ultimate match day experience. And you can save a cartload of time with Safeway Drive Up and Go. Just shop online at Safeway.com. Head to the store and we'll bring your groceries right to your car. Safeway, exclusive grocery partner of the Portland Timbers.
Calling all Portland soccer fans. TikTok is bringing you closer to the game than ever before with unmatched access to the Timbers and Thorns. Join Portland's premier soccer clubs as they share content exclusive to TikTok from the sidelines, in the locker room, and at home. There's no better place for PTFC fans to connect with their favorite clubs and players.
Spectacular goal! They're up 2-1!
Because after the game ends, the real fun starts on TikTok, the official sponsor of the Portland Timbers and Portland Thorns.
The idea of owning a home felt like a pipe dream.
That's BECU member Leandra talking about her home buying experience.
So we went to BECU where I met our mortgage advisor, Lauren, and she was like, this is what we're going to do. This is how you buy a home.
As a not-for-profit credit union, BECU helps members find the right home loan to meet their needs. Learn more at becu.org/home loans. BECU, power in people. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender, NMLS ID 490518. Members were compensated for participation.
It's a feel-good Providence Park. The Portland Timbers win 1-0 over FC Dallas. You can tell how packed the Western Conference is, considering coming into today they were 12th. After the win, they leave 8th. Let's quickly run down the stats in this one between Portland and FC Dallas. The lone goal, the difference is Frank Bolli's in the 35th minute. And here is how it went down. In terms of possession, Timbers were outdone 58-42. Shots 14-5 in favor of Portland. Shots on goal 8 for the Timbers, just 2 for FC Dallas. One of those a nonchalant one from distance after a quick restart. The other a crucial save by David Bingham at the death. Total passes 504 for Dallas, 358 for the Timbers, with a passing accuracy of 83 for the visitors and 75 for the home side. Each team had 2 corners, both coming in the first half for Portland. The Timbers are caught offsides 4 times to Dallas just 1. In terms of tackles, 13 for Dallas, 12 for Portland. 7 saves for Paws, who was probably the man of the match for his side. For the Timbers, you have a couple of candidates in this one, which we'll discuss later in the post-game show right here on 750 The Game. Fouls 12 apiece, 4 yellow cards for Portland, 3 for Dallas. In terms of expected goals, what do you expect? 1.3 for Portland, 0.3 for Dallas. Second game in a row now, the Timbers have racked up a clean sheet. You have to say it's deserved. Eric Miller, it's going to be hard done by to maybe lose his spot in the starting lineup next week. We'll have to see when it comes to the match with San Jose. All right, we'll pop out to break, but when we come back, we'll continue breaking down this entertaining match from Providence Park on a standalone Sunday night in Portland, Oregon. Stay tuned on 750 The Game.
Walter E. Nelson Company is the largest family-owned janitorial supply distributor in the Pacific Northwest, with 13 locations to serve you in Oregon and Washington. We offer the finest national brand products, like cleaners safe for people and the environment, commercial vacuums and auto scrubbers, and above all, the most knowledgeable people to help you solve your toughest cleaning problems. Walter E. Nelson Company is ready to partner with you, so look to us for all your workplace maintenance, janitorial, and packaging needs. Since 1945, Walter E. Nelson Company is your solution for cleaner, healthier facilities in the Pacific Northwest. It's game day at Providence Park. Fuel up with a gourmet sausage or classic frank from Zenner's Sausage Company. Found at concession stands throughout Providence Park, Zenner's has been producing gourmet sausages in Portland since 1927, and they've always been naturally smoked, small batch, and handcrafted with quality ingredients. You can find Zenner's craft sausages at local retailers such as Market of Choice, Safeway Albertsons, Stadium Fred Meyer's, QFC, and many restaurants around town. Find out more at Zenners.com. I'm sorry, sir. This is a gas station. You can't bring a chainsaw in here.
I thought 76 was sponsoring the Portland Timbers.
We are.
But I'm the chainsaw guy.
Sir, again, I'm sorry, but...
I cut a log every time we score a goal. You know, Timber Joey?
Sir, please.
But my chainsaw is running out of gas.
Sir.
Can I at least have a soda?
Sir.
76 has been a proud sponsor of the Portland Timbers since 2013, but please, no chainsaws in our convenience stores. 76, we're on the driver's side.
Dear Summer, the big question is, how to make the most of you? Kick back and relax, or climb new heights? And enter Toyota's Dear Summer Sweepstakes for a chance to win some awesome outdoor gear. It all sounds enticing. Rev up the sporty RAV4 and seize these long summer days? Now there's a great idea. Or load up the crew in the spacious Highlander for a summer road trip. Maybe that too. Or take on outdoor adventures in the tough Tacoma. Wait, what about the 4Runner? Ready to tackle any trail. And the Camry all-wheel drive with its serious style. Let's check out the entire lineup at the local Toyota dealer and get our summer on. And while we're at it, let's enter the Deer Summer Sweepstakes for a chance to win that awesome outdoor gear. Good luck, Toyota. Visit DeerSummerSweeps.com today for a chance to win. Contest ends August 1st. Toyota, let's go places.
No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents in select Oregon and Southwest Washington. Zip codes 18 plus years of age. Ends 8/1/23 at 11:59 p.m. PT. Void where prohibited. For complete rules, visit DeerSummerSweeps.com.
Whether you've lived in Oregon for years or just recently moved here, we can all do our part to protect ourselves, our property, and our loved ones during this wildfire season. Things like keeping your lawn mowed, cleaning up dried leaves and pine needles from your roof and below trees on your property, and giving your home a small fire-free perimeter where fire can't reach. Learn all you can do to stop wildfires at home by visiting OregonDefensiblespace.org. That's OregonDefensiblespace.org today.
Timbers 1, FC Dallas 0. There truly is no easy games in Major League Soccer, and Dallas found that out the hard way. No real shots on target until the last moments of the game and +7 stoppage time. Here are some of the numbers on the season for the Portland Timbers and how this game affects that. This is their first 1-0 win since week 1 of the season, a cold match against Sporting Kansas City. You're now 4-2-2 at home, 5-7-5 overall, good for the current 8th seed in Major League Soccer's Western Conference. This is their 5th clean sheet of the season, second under David Bingham. And they're now 9-10-9 versus Dallas in regular season play. And it's 8 games in a row where they've scored just 1 goal against Dallas, but it doesn't matter today, as the more important number versus the foes from the Lone Star State is 15 games at Providence Park. FC Dallas have only won once. 28 games total between these two in Major League Soccer. The road team has won just twice. We're going to pop out quickly one more time to break, but when we come back, it's the juicy part of the post-game show. We'll hear from Giovanni Savarese, the Timbers player or two, and we'll break down the match further and get the thoughts from Fletcher Johnson and Keith Blyer. Stay tuned on 750 The Game.
Blue Star Charters and Tours have been locally owned and operated in Portland, Oregon for over 40 years. Our modern fleet of motor coaches, shuttle buses, and shuttle vans are ready to serve Portland area business travelers, families, groups, tours, corporations, schools, and more. If you need reliable, dependable, and safe charter bus transportation anywhere around the Portland area, count on Blue Star. Visit us at www.bluestarbus.com. Blue Star, proud partner of the Portland Timbers.
What's up, soccer fans? Body Armor is proud to be the official sports drink of your Portland Timbers. Whether you're active on the field or cheering on your club, Body Armor Sports Drink is your go-to hydration partner all season long. Body Armor is more than just a sports drink, hydrating you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. From kickoff to the final whistle, Body Armor has the hydration you need. Because it's more than a sports drink. It's Body Armor Sports Drink. Available at your local Safeway.
We are all Portland. We are Buick GMC of Beaverton. We are Oregon and Washington's largest Buick GMC dealer. We are the 3-time Dealer of the Year award winner. We are proud to support our team and serve our city. Because we are all Timbers. Get to Buick GMC of Beaverton today and score!
Award by General Motors Corporation.
Hey, y'all, it's the Rev here for Reverend's Barbecue in the heart of Sellwood. And boy, do I have some good news for y'all. Our happy hour is back, and we're cooking up some mighty tasty snacks and delicious drinks. For those of you 21 and over, well, you can come on down and sit right at the bar. Don't worry, though, if you don't have time to come in and sit down with us and need to grab and go, order online at reverencebbq.com. That's reverencebbq.com. And remember, everyone's welcome at our table.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code SPORTS at checkout. That's harrys.com, code SPORTS. Enjoy!
Busy Western Conference, to say the least, in MLS. Just 3 points separate 6th and 12th in Major League Soccer's Western Conference. You can see what a win does. It makes everyone go to bed smiling, but you scoreless. You don't score a goal next week against San Jose, you're back down to 13th or 12th amongst LA. So it's really a week-by-week basis. Feels like the NFL at this point. And stop me if you've heard this before, but the schedule eases up a little bit for the Portland Timbers. Unfortunately, that's when they've dropped points this season. They face San Jose, who, yes, is going to be a very tough opposition next Saturday. But after that, Chicago, who's bottom in the East. NYCFC, at home, who hasn't won a game on the road this season. At Minnesota, you want revenge to them. Then at Colorado on July 4th. So it's a busy stretch coming up in the next 3-4 weeks. But at Colorado, that's a team who's literally bottom of all of Major League Soccer. So this is a stretch where you can really start to rack together some points. Keith, I'll let you start. Where do you want to go in this match, as there's so much to break down? The 5-minute stoppage where there was a red card then taken away for Giovanni Jesus. Diego Chara was the victim in that, if you will. The goal, the chances at the end, Ferreira playing left back, so much to talk about.
Yeah, I will start with the goal. That obviously is the most important thing in a 1-0, and the Timbers deserved it. They were the better team for the first half hour, better team in the first half by a wide margin. I thought they were playing some pretty good football, too. Pretty pleasing to the eye, clean on the ball, as I've mentioned before. And then Evander, just kind of that little clip ball. You barely even lift your toe off the turf, just spins it in there, and Bully attacked it. I mean, like a strong ox of a center forward. Got between Farfan and Tafari and just headed that beyond pause. Without Paus's heroic saves, I think it could have been 2-3-0 at one point in this match. So, it's just the one goal, and it's enough to get them the win. Go ahead.
Were those first 20 minutes better than the first 20 minutes you saw against Vancouver?
Yes. Oh, Vancouver?
Yeah. That's the only other contender I can think of this season.
Yeah. In the same category. I thought you were going to ask about Seattle, and the difference for me was Seattle, they were harrying the Sounders, but they didn't have much of a cutting edge. Were a little bit more defensive and not quite as secure with the ball and getting those players into advanced areas. So, am I sitting here saying that the Timbers' first half performance tonight was the best I've seen out of them this year? I'm not so sure about that, but it's exactly what they needed to do to establish themselves and get that goal.
And I think something that should be pointed out as well is the last two matches they faced two teams that are in the top 4 in the Western Conference. They've given up 9 shots, 2 of which were on target. That's pretty darn good, and I imagine we're going to hear from Gio Savarese about just that, about how well his defense has played against 2 pretty darn good attacks. Is Seattle a little off right now? Absolutely. Rui Diaz is coming back from injury. Ferreira, though, was in good form, and he looked lost out there for large stretches of the match tonight. They frustrated him and had him all out of sorts. So I think that's something that should be pointed out, is the fact that the Timbers went to Seattle. They gave up 5 shots, 1 on target up there, and then come back here. Dallas is able to work out 4 shots, just 1 of which is on target.
I want to continue on your defensive point there, because Giovanni Savarese has a decision to make next week. Eric Miller, back-to-back clean sheets now. Both fullbacks will be healthy, and Claudio Bravo and Juan David Mosquera. The decision might become easier after that, because Mosquera will be out on international duty with Colombia. But, Miller is someone who was kind of just a backup who came in the first week of the season.